Wow, you are way too perky already.
It's Patdees, and we're at the late show. It is 11:01. I'm a minute late. Right now, I got Eric and Kimberly here with me, but supposed to get a couple other people to join us. So we're all running. It's been a long day. I know I got up at 6 o'clock. How are you guys doing? How you doing today, Eric?
Pretty good. I had some family stuff to do today, so I haven't really done anything work-wise, but I got an auction to go to tomorrow. But I'm just sitting back, drinking a little whiskey and smoking a cigar and hanging out.
Yeah. How about you, Kimberly?
My day was good. It was good. I don't know. I had a good day. I'm excited. I'm getting my screen situated here because I was late. I was late to the party.
Look like you came from a party. You're all dolled up.
Well, I am wearing part of this from earlier, but Cliff, Boondock by Sal, gave me these for my birthday, which was really sweet.
Ah.
Gotta love it. Friend mail.
What's up, guys?
What up, Anthony?
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Sounds good, guys. My name is Anthony. My wife and I have a YouTube channel called Pittsburgh, and we do a lot of reselling content. We go to garage sales, yard sales, Goodwills, like bins, pretty much anything we can do to find stuff at a cheap price to flip online and make some profit. Again, that's Pittsburgh. We also do a weekly Bible study every Tuesday at 2 p.m. And then we do a live working hangout with just a bunch of awesome resellers every Saturday between 3 and 4 p.m.
Yeah, and anybody that wants to follow anybody that's in the room, such as Anthony, there in the description is the link to their page. And you can, if they comment in the live chat, you can always click to the right and with the 3 dots go right to their page. So you just got home from a baseball game, didn't you, Anthony?
Yeah, we went to the Pirate game. They played the San Diego Padres today. They won 3, and then we had to stop at Walmart and get some stuff because it's my wife's birthday on Monday, so we're kind of having a birthday weekend for her. So I got to make her some good pulled pork. It's like pretty much her favorite thing to eat. I'm going to make that and just a bunch of other stuff. So I already got it all like in my crock pot getting ready to be cooked for tomorrow.
That's awesome. And by the way, anybody who has a birthday on Monday is amazing. Just saying.
I wonder who else can have a birthday on Monday. I don't know.
Please excuse me for one moment. I got to take a phone call. I'll be right back.
Hey, Debbie.
She had to take a phone call. It's her birthday on.
Yeah,
she's gonna be doing a rolling invite. So, Glynn Swamp Picker's here too.
Thank you, Glenn.
Good morning again.
Third time I've seen you today.
Yeah, I was on Anthony's show this morning.
Oh yeah, I was actually. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Me and Jason Banana Finds were supposed to go to an auction together, and then he bailed out. He had something else to do, and but I was already up, and I said, "Look, I'm still going."
That's okay.
It was a nice big toy auction, a lot of paper, just a big variety, a lot of stuff. Actually, I heard him talking. Came from Pittsburgh. I heard them talking about it.
It was a good sale. That's what Jason and I were looking at. If I hadn't had family stuff to do today, I'd have been there. It was that good. I mean, it was a 6-hour drive for me, but I would have gone for it because it was a really, really good sale. But things get in the way sometimes.
Right. Hey, I want to. If anyone doesn't know, me and Glenn actually last week we hit the 1,000 club. So me and him are the same day. We'll go down in history as both hitting the 1,000 subscribers the same day. So
that is awesome.
Are you guys noticing that my internet is better this week?
Not yet. I haven't even looked at it. I wouldn't pay. Well, I guess you know what it is because no one's noticing it.
Eric, that was like a shot. That was like a shot.
No. What I'm saying is, if we're not noticing you lagging or anything like that, then it means it's better.
Yeah, it is actually better.
Yeah, no, but you're supposed to say, yeah, you look much better.
You look amazing, Pat, tonight.
Yeah, you just say that anyways.
Yeah, see, the problem is, Pat, I can't deal with the flipping thing, so I just put it on Kimberly and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well,
and lazy Craig must have got in trouble at the nursing home because he's not in here with us. But I got my chat. What's that?
Craig's in the chat.
Yeah, I know.
But
I don't know if you know, but he lives at Meadowbrook.
Golden Meadows, I think it is Golden Meadows.
Golden Meadows, yeah. Well, Golden Meadows is probably the next place that he's supposed to be going to. But Kimberly, you want to do your little bit of host? I did send you a $5 super chat. You want to say hi to some people in the chat?
Yeah, I'll do that. I got no problem. My name is Kimberly. My channel is Borderline Hoarderish, where hoarding is only cool if you could sell it for a profit, folks. I'm going to go through the chat and say hello to a few people. See who's all up in here. I see that Craig has just joined the panel. Now everybody leave. No, I'm just kidding. Swamp Picker, who's on the channel, on the panel, it was first. And hello, by the way, Glenn, to you. Red Neckerson Resales, that's my southern charm. Hello, Nathan. Land Shark Picker, he is now on the panel. Jason Static, thumbs down crew. Hey, don't you be putting your thumbs down in here, Jason. You keep those thumbs to your own channel, sir. Nobody give my Patdees, my crouton a thumbs down. Okay? Just so you know. Digitally impaired. What's up? Rebecca Cruder, my sister from another mister. Hello. And who else is in here? Let me go down. Pittsburgh. Oh, well, he's on the panel. What up, Anthony? How are you?
Good.
Eric. Well, that would be, we have a couple of Erics. Well, I think that's how you say the one in the chat.
Yeah, Eric Dominic. He lives up north of me, actually. He's in Ohio. So.
Yeah, I recognize that name. Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, I try not to butcher too many names. Oh, and we got my angry typer. Is that who? I heard him. Oh, yep, there he is.
No, not the angry typer guy.
He finally got out of bed.
Yeah.
And hello to everybody else. I'll say hi to y'all in the chat as I'm chatting along. And of course, hello to you, Eric, Nameless Picker, since I didn't say hi to you yet. You're on the panel too.
Oh, Pat, I just actually got out of bed. I took a 2-hour nap. Well,
I left the house this morning at 6:09, and then I stopped at the flea market. I went to the auction, went to the flea market, stopped on a yard sale at home, and stopped at Friends because I had no one to talk to today. Where's he at? I had no one to talk to today to hang out with me, so I stopped at Friends in my hometown area, and then I got home and actually I laid. Man, as soon as I fell asleep for about an hour or two, and then I unloaded the car and filled. I'm learning to make sure that, especially when you're going to these, it was my first auction this year, but learning to film the stuff because even though they see you bidding on stuff, they want to see what you get. So I made sure, because where I stacked it with my other stuff, that I could, at least show the people exactly what I got. So I do appreciate everybody coming on tonight and showing the support. Everybody, like I said, in this, the people that we invite, their links are in the description. So Anthony is new to the channel tonight, and I've actually been on his show for a couple minutes here and there. We kind of seem to miss each other, but I've talked to him before and stuff, and I appreciate him taking the time because let's be honest, it was a great summer day, and we're all doing stuff with our families, and to take the time out to come here on late at night. I like to do it late at night because it's kind of the winding down of the day, and it allows everybody just to say, hey, what's going on? And there's other people doing things, and it seems like a good time. So Land Shark Picker, you're in the room, but what's going on? Did you turn your camera on?
I think he said in the chat that after dark, there's no cameras or mics in his house, so we can just look at his picture.
Oh God. Jeez. So, Jason, how are you today?
Okay, but hopefully you're not too mad at me for bailing on you today.
I was for about 5 minutes.
I'm the one that's mad at him for bailing because he didn't buy the stuff that I wanted him to buy for me.
Well, later on, when I thought about it, I thought, I might have been bidding against him. I mean, I would have saved 6%, but he might have been like, no, Pat, I want that. And then we would have been, kind of like, you know.
Yeah, maybe it did work out for the better, Pat.
Yeah. I don't have your bankroll. You might have walked in and bought the whole goddamn place, and I went down with one box. You know what I mean?
I'm like a black hole when I go to auctions, man.
They had two auctioneers going at the same time. They had out front the lady Kim doing out front certain things, and she was doing the number tables, and then the guy outside and then came in. He was doing the letter tables. Some things I was really surprised how cheap certain things went, and then some things was funny because I bid on postcards, and I took it to 15, and there was about 5 or 6 boxes at that one table. And she said, how many do you want? I said, I'll take 3. So no one was willing else to step up and pay more. And guess what? When I took the 3 after that, someone wound up paying $25, $30 for, they could have got it for 15 or 17 and a half. So it's just funny how auctions kind of work.
The rule is when you get them that cheap, you buy them all.
Yeah.
Take them all.
Right.
It's called breaking hearts method. That's
right.
what I like to call it.
Well, there was an older lady there, 2 of them sitting in the front, and she said she was just with the other lady, and I wanted something for I was willing to go to $15, but then it was getting crazy how some things were going for $30, $40 a box. There was some animation cells I was interested in. I was willing to pay $30 for them. There looked like there was probably about 20 of them in a box, and they were kind of neat because I like cartoons and I like drawings and things that I do. And some young kid, looked like he was probably about 24, 25, looked like a skater dude. He bought them for $50. So, I mean,
I've spent $200 on a box of postcards before. So yeah, it just depends on what's there. But yeah, when you get a chance to buy in quantity that cheap, you just buy it all. Don't even let them come back and get a second chance at it.
Oh, there's Craig. We got 2 of them in the room.
Oh boy,
there.
2. I don't know if I can handle 2.
Because one's not enough.
Yeah, 1 is more
And
than
I like
enough.
his beard is trim. He's got a good clean shirt on. So we're not going to give him a hard time tonight. We're gonna respect and honor him because Craig is our official 1,000 club spokesman. So we got to show him a little respect.
I can turn the camera on. I can turn the camera on the phone and give you multiple camera angles if that'll help you.
There you go.
Hey, Craig, how much would I PayPal you to join the club?
I can't divulge that. It's how much for me to join? Or how much for you to join?
For me to join. You're like the spokesperson.
You can't join the membership until you get around to 900.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's basically what
the threshold is.
Yeah, and it's easier because it's hard when you're too far out to honestly get people to hit those numbers super quick.
Yeah,
a lot of our crew kind of runs with each other, so
I don't hang out with you.
I was just messing with
No,
you.
you just call me every day.
You guys all got 1,000. Me and Jason don't even have 500 yet. We hang out with you guys. So where's the rest of your crew at?
It's just me and Pat. It's just me and Pat.
So I'm calling out your crew.
Our crew is amazing. Okay.
Maybe
But then you guys can't be on air though and
you need
go.
to call something a little more.
We don't care if we're at 400. If we get 410 next week, we're happy. You got to say I need to be at 1,000 next month because I want people to watch me. That's what you got to say, Eric and Jason.
Well, the problem is we're too busy selling.
I know. And you guys kick my ass on that, but maybe we should have done when you were in town. We could have done a little parody of like the Stooges. Stooges at the store.
It wasn't a parody.
Yeah, it was a parody.
Yeah. We got 40 people in the room watching it. I greatly appreciate it. You guys could hit that thumbs up. Hey, one of the things I wanted to mention is I think I last looked, the last day I've been bouncing back and forth between 1,059 and 1,060. When we hit 1,072, I'm going to be giving there in the description. There's a win prize video, and I'm going to be giving out some prizes. Yesterday, I went to the movies, and I got a bunch of these Toy Story gift cards for $5, and then you get a $2 bill with it, so that's $7. And there'll be a bunch of those different prizes.
Good thing there wasn't a $3 bill.
Oh no, we give them to you, Craig. Yeah. So if you got once we get to 12 more, we are going to be, and you comment on that video. So far, there's over, I think, 20 comments on that video. So instead, everybody always does something at 1,000. I said, you know what? When I get to 1,072, we'll do something. So, Kimberly, how's my internet looking? Stop shaking your shoulders.
I had to stretch. Okay. It looks good. It looks good, actually. And it's not skipping out, and you're not sounding all robotic, and none of us are dropping so far. So.
Yeah. Last week, actually, I felt bad because, I hit the wrong button, and I should have just hit the X, and I hit the little phone thing, and I was done. So I was only going to go probably another 10 minutes, and so I was like, you know what? I'm not starting back up. But,
did you upgrade your internet this week then?
I called the cable company, and what happened was we were only at 20%. There was a problem with the line with the weather that we've been having lately with the rain, that the water was running down the line in the pole and causing issues where the fittings. Sit down, Kimberly. Kimberly, sit down. Kimberly, sit down.
Don't tell me what to do first. I'm trying to move my chair so I quit fidgeting in it.
Come on, she's got a wedgie. Give her a chance.
She's you always got to be modeling. She's got to get that last look in before she turns 36 on Monday.
It's not 36. It's 35.
Yeah,
okay,
come on.
Get it right. Don't add a year.
What do you mean? Come on, Jason. What do you think? What you told me the other day? What you thought? How old she was? What'd you tell me?
Oh yeah, throw me under the bus.
Well, yeah, I got to get back at you. Somehow you blew off my auction date. My first auction date.
All right.
Wow, she's just a couple years older than my daughter.
Oh, I know. She's a kid compared to us. Us old men here.
I thought she was 29. I didn't know.
Well,
Yeah,
Anthony,
29. That sounds like
Anthony's probably young.
Yeah, Anthony's 2 months. What, like how many months younger? 2 months younger than me,
we're
or
pretty
something.
much the same age. I'll turn 35 in October.
Oh, there you go. See?
I remember 35.
So, now, Anthony, you went to the ball game today. Jason, you did nothing. Kimberly, you've been celebrating your birthday weekend. Craig, did you do anything?
I just
It's more like your birthday week.
I did nothing but sit back and wait on you to call, Pat, and you never called, so I couldn't start.
Well, now every day, you're always commenting about me. Oh, Patdees is here. Patdees is there. Patdees is everywhere. And I turn on this week, and you said, I was wondering why you said click the bell, and then all of a sudden, there it is. Craig, like 7 days a week, like your CNN.
Is there
What's
like
going on?
Is there like a Patdees app that I can track you?
Well, there's a Patdees72 website.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's not work friendly. I wouldn't click on it.
And basically, when you click on it, it has the eBay links and the YouTube. And I just did that to kind of protect, so that
yeah, but unfortunately, I clicked on the suicide guy link, and that was just not a good thing to go to. So.
Who was that?
That's that ransomware stuff, isn't it? It takes over your computer and
yeah.
So
hey, Glynn, we got you up late and you're yawning. What's going on with you today?
Just working all day, and that's about. I didn't get up to like 7:30 actually. I got a late start on garage sales.
Yeah.
But I did okay.
I didn't find anything today.
I went to 3 garage sales because they happened to be right around where I was going today, and if I was cornering the market on baby clothes, I could have done it. That's what they were. 3 baby clothes sales.
Callaway golf bag for $5, brand new, never used.
That's nice.
Right down the street. Then a library card system. So like the big wooden ones, but it's only like 6. Got it for like 60, and some of them sell like 240.
Got one right here. I have one on my desk.
Right. Well, I saw it there Friday and went back this morning about 9:30, and it was still there. And they had that like piece of paper, wasn't an eBay paper, but one that sold for like $500, you know, and all that. Now I saw it in the picture, that Thursday night. So like that's why I went Friday early morning before work. Then like I said, it went back Saturday about 9:30. It was still there. I said, well, you take 60 for it. And I said, sure.
Done. So
Nothing wrong with that.
now I felt so bad. I had a pair of shoes I said, I actually I'm gonna grab them. I think they're right here. I looked and looked and looked, trying to research them. I was looking everywhere for the style. They're K-Swiss. I don't buy a lot of shoes, but they're clean like this.
Yeah, clean. That's pretty.
I was looking all over the bottom, all on the side, looking for a style. Looked in here inside the tongue. It had a style number. I literally spent an hour and a half looking at these, trying to figure these out. And look what's staring me in the face right in the bottom of the sole. Big shot.
Yeah.
The dang style. I felt so stupid. Yeah.
I don't know exactly what you're trying to teach the audience there, Craig.
I'm not. I'm just stupid sometimes.
I don't know. Jason bought those. When you bought those storage lockers full of Nikes, you were pulling your hair out a little bit because they were just so many different variations of stuff with those.
It wasn't too bad though, because almost all of them had those specific Nike numbers that I could kind of find.
Yeah, the Nike ones. The first three is the first section is the style. The last three is like the design or the color scheme or whatever.
Yeah, I forget exactly. That was like a year ago. So.
Yeah, I found a pair this morning for like $1 with Nike, almost like brand new.
We better hurry up and get the show with Anita said she'll be in on in a minute.
Oh, thank goodness Anita is coming on here. I'm just kidding.
All right, well, all right, time to wrap the show up. It was good seeing everybody tonight.
So I got gifted some things to either sell or keep. I've sold quite a few, gloves, but not necessarily old ones that were in newer shape. What do you, the whole panel of men, what do y'all think? Worth it to sell?
Is that a Rawlings?
What's on the inside?
What's the brand name, Kimberly?
Okay.
It's a Rawlings. It's a Rawlings. What's on the inside?
Yeah.
Rawlings is like an R number, doesn't it?
Well, you also want to see who the signature. If there's a signature of a player, that'll date the glove too.
Well, one thing is
100% nylon sewn. Eddie, I don't know, something.
Murray.
Graph.
Yeah, Eddie Murray.
Eddie Matthews.
It looks like a K. K something B-K-O. K-A-B-K-O or K-U-B-K-O?
K-U-B-T.
Looking it up now.
There's a Enos Cabell, K-E-C-A-B-E-L.
Like, that's definitely a K. In that, let's see. It's really hard to tell, but it's like right.
Yeah, you'll have to figure that out, and that'll give you the years that the glove is active, and then that's one of the keys you want to use is who the player's signature on it, and then there should be a model number or something on it as well.
Right? I mean, it's pretty cool. This one I think is cooler even than
that's a cool. That's
Hi guys.
1930s.
Hi, Anita.
Hey.
Oh, that's cool.
Hi, Anita.
That one's good.
Hi.
Condition is everything on those, and that one's actually not that bad a shape for the age.
Yeah, it looks like the only part I really see condition-wise, honestly, is this part right here.
Yeah, that's all right.
Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, it's seen better days, but
it's probably 30 to 50.
It looks loved.
and that's probably from the 40s or 50s, don't you think? Or maybe
It's actually 30s to 40s.
30s, 40s. I knew it was
Yeah, 40 only because the fingers are actually sewn together, so it's actually a glove. It's when they go 3-finger or the fingers aren't connected is when you get a little older. But
yeah, it's definitely huge. It's cool though. Anyways, I just figured I would ask you all because I wasn't sure if it was worth it. Because condition,
that's like actually in really good shape for one of that age.
Yeah, that's cool. But I might just because it's not. I'm into. I have a collection of baseball stuff for my son that I'm keeping, but it's a lot of stuff that I picked up as a kid, and then not really this kind of thing like gloves. I have a baseball bat for him. I hear an echo. I'm not sure where we're getting an echo at, but I don't know if anybody else hears it. But I hear it.
The only problem with that first
I don't
one
hear anything.
only problem with the first one is the red Rawlings tag was off of it.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. You're right.
That's all right. I mean, it'll bring the value down a little bit, but
yeah.
I mean, it's probably a $20 to $25 glove.
Right. Well, I mean, just secure. I love selling things that aren't very big because it's going to be easy to try to ship.
Added mailer for that.
Well, it won't break either.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And the person that's buying that's not buying it to play with. They're buying it because they had it as a kid. They're buying it because they want to put it on the wall, something like that. So.
I showed this earlier, but this is cool.
Nice.
I have to put the little thing back.
Yeah, Eric and Jason probably really.
That's nice.
I thought that this was really cool.
Now, what did you find out it was? You were looking into that.
It's a I can't remember the exact one.
Is there anything on it?
No.
There's no marks or anything?
No, I'm drawing a blank. I'm totally like having a brain fart. I want somebody said that.
What's the cord look like?
It's fabric.
Oh, so it's fabric. Okay, that automatically pushes it way back.
It's a boat type of buoy. I don't know, light.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably 1930s, maybe 1940s, but it's early 40s if it is. Fabric went away.
Right? Yeah, this looks like maybe I shouldn't mess around with it too much.
That's the kind that you lick when you plug in, I think.
Yeah. There's nothing like plugging in to test something and you blow every breaker in your house. So.
I've done that with one item and I quit plugging things in.
I did too. I did it with a 1920s electric stove, and I was actually in a hangout, plugged it in, and it killed everything in the lower level here. So
that's why I always have a handy fire extinguisher. I'm always plugging electric stuff in.
Oh, I like your hat.
Oh, well, thank you, Anita.
He had we made him wear that hat, Anita, because he was in trouble with me this morning. He refused to do my show unless I super chat at $24.95. And I said,
oh boy.
Yeah, or I would provide some coupons for bananas.
Okay, we'll put him on the naughty list.
Yeah. This is why I had to have Kimberly come in, just to kind of, because he says he likes Kimberly and Anita, that he wouldn't give me a hard time in front of them. So this was a way.
Where are you getting all this from?
By Gentleman Jack, just in case anybody's wondering. So.
Oh boy.
Is that your nickname, Eric?
No, that's just what I happen to be drinking tonight.
Oh, Gentleman Jack.
Yeah. Usually I'm drinking Johnny Walker, but felt like Jack tonight. So.
There you go. Hey, I walked around that flea market. I was there too. There was a neat concept. There was a blend of people that had sheds and tables, and I never seen sheds before. Tommy, the Bargain Effect, had talked about out in Wisconsin having sheds, but I never seen it before. There was a guy selling games and toys, and I picked up this All in the Family game. I'll be honest, I liked it just for the artwork.
Oh, wow, that's old.
Yeah. And the object was guess Archie's answers.
How many are politically correct?
Right. And I'm thinking maybe one day I'll do a show and I'll invite people that want to participate in it. Maybe I'll open it and see what everyone can guess. Maybe we'll do like a little segment.
That sounds fun.
That's it. I'm sending Pat a game of Twister.
Let me know when you decide to do that on live show. I'll make sure I miss that one.
I got a flex for that. I'm not long and skinny and lanky like Craig is.
Whatever.
Hey, Kelly, I see you in the room, and there is. I just speak of Tommy, and there he is. Hey, Tommy, I went to a auction flea market today, and I thought of you because they had tables set up. And they had some sheds set up that they must be people that have permanent that they can you know.
Yeah, I've seen a few flea markets like that. That's pretty rare, but I mean down south you have a lot more stuff like that where they've got it's just guys that rent sheds on the place and they keep all their stuff, lock it on the week throughout the week, and
Well,
it's actually kind of a cool concept because it gives you a way to drop stuff off throughout the week, and then you can just go down and set it up.
Well, interesting. At that place, they also have bands at one of those main, things you're talking about, Pat. Right in the center, they usually have like a Dixie band playing or something.
Oh, okay.
Days.
Kimberly, what's up, honey?
I was just asking. Tommy knows what this light is called, and I can't remember what it was. What did we figure out it was, Tommy? I'm trying to put it back together.
Well, the question is, has it been electrified or was it an oil light at one point?
I really honestly don't know a whole lot about it yet. I literally just got it yesterday. I just thought it was unique, and again, it was free, so you can't pass up free, right?
I've heard somebody getting free stuff before.
Yeah, Tommy said they're giving up their spot. I saw them with the video the other day. They were talking about it.
Nautical buoy lamp. I knew he'd remember. He's so smart. Nautical buoy lamp is what they call them.
Yeah, the only reason it looks like it might have been oil at one point because the top pops up and down. I mean, that's
what I was thinking. Why is the top opening?
Well, the bell, I took the bell part off. Yeah, I took the bell part off because I saw some numbers on the bottom of this, or on this piece, this little glass piece right here. And I thought maybe that was going to help me identify it, but I didn't realize that now I can't get this part back in very easily. Michelle, what's up, girl? And the Shamrock Pixie is here. Hello, my friend.
Why don't we? I mean, I know everybody knows, but I always like to have the opportunity for everybody. Anita, why don't we start with you? You introduce yourself.
Oh my God!
Oh, here we go. I know. I hate these damn things too.
Yeah,
I was hoping we glossed over it, but no, it's apparently back.
Tell them who you are and what your channel is and what you do.
Okay. Well, my name is Anita. My channel name is Anita Fanita. I do jewelry. I do thrift haul jewelry, thrift hauls. I do jar on jarrings. I sell jewelry. My main platform is Etsy. I live in California. Glynn, you're up.
Okay, I'm next. Well, I'm Smart Picker, Glynn Gillespie. And basically, I do eBay, a little bit of Poshmark, but like I said, I did a video today about 1 o'clock, what I found today.
Great. And Eric?
My channel is Nameless Picker. I do eBay. I sell anything I can get my hands on. I've been doing this for a long time. So.
Kimberly?
My name is Kimberly. My YouTube channel is Borderline Hoarders, and I like to hoard things unless I can sell for a profit. There you go. I already did that earlier, so that's why that was the shorter version.
Okay, next, the Bull.
My name is Jason, and I solve crimes. And my channel is Banana Finds.
You do have a little bit. You do a little bit have that go gadget inspector gadget look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
now, are those horns coming out of that hat, or are they bananas?
No.
Aren't they the Pokemon?
Yeah, it looks like a Pokemon hat to me. So
yeah, it's
okay. I don't know. I don't follow Pokemon. And the guy with the P shirt or the P hat, is that for Philadelphia? I mean,
no, that's for Pittsburgh, my friend.
Oh my! Oh,
it just happens to be like the red, white, and blue, like American flag.
Oh, it's very nice. Tell everybody who you are.
Sure. My name is Anthony. I have a channel called Pittsburgh. We do a lot of reselling content, garage sales, yard sales, Goodwill bins, that kind of stuff. My main platform is eBay. I do a lot of local sales too.
And Debbie in the room, Debbie does sales, says she loves your hats, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And if you guys aren't subscribed to any of these people, in the link below is their channel, and if they comment to the right is the 3 dots. Now, Anthony, I love his intro. It reminds me of like a TV series intro, the way he does that. So he put a lot of thought into doing that.
Thank you.
Now, what made you, Anthony? Anthony, you don't have to go to bed yet, right?
Well, I mean, I normally fall asleep early on Saturdays. Just gotta wake up early for church, but I don't need to go to bed just yet. All right, but what made me wake?
I'm curious on what made you start doing YouTube.
Honestly, I was already doing reselling, and I was getting into the community, and I actually found Garage Flips. Lonnie, he was the first person I found on YouTube, and I was just inspired watching him do what he was doing, and I thought, wow, it'd be pretty cool if I did that, because literally when I started YouTube, the only thing that changed is I just filmed what I was doing.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much a seamless transition. The biggest part about it that takes time away is like the editing and putting videos together. But other than that, it's literally just doing what I'm already doing with a camera.
Hello, Queens. What up, Treasure? Treasure Hustlers, Sarah and Jackie. Wow.
They're saying there's too many damn links. I know, but I always try to make sure that the people that I invite to thank them, because they're taking their time. So I always have their links in the description. Those are such good mods, and they share the links a lot of times. Don't feel like you got to do that. I appreciate it, and this is why I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times during the show that if anybody wants to follow these people, go to those links below. So, Jackie, I actually got to talk to Jackie and Sarah the other night on a private hangout with Jason, and I was nervous to kind of meet them. Jackie thinks I'm a killer, but Sarah's picked up for me. So, Eric, why don't you before we started live, you were showing me you had a stack of something you just.
We were discussing, because Pat had gone to an auction today and he bought several thousand postcards, and we were talking about just buying in bulk as opposed to buying single pieces. And when you go to a thrift store, if you're not going to the bins or something, if you're going to a regular thrift store, you're going to buy single pieces, and I stopped doing that a long time ago because I like to spread my my pain out over many pieces. And like I was showing him a lot of the photos I bought, and I spent $65, and this is only about a quarter of the photos, but they're all military plane photos, so they're all stuff like this. That's why I was trying to say, kind of basically, reiterating the fact that when you have a stack like that, there's about 150 in here, and I've got another, I don't know, 300 in the bin back there. $10 a piece, and I paid $65. I mean, I got to sell 6 or 7 of them to get my money back. So that's kind of what we're discussing about his going to the auction today. How good it is to go and buy in bulk as opposed to buying single piece.
Now, Eric, in your case with those photos, and because a lot of people, you don't just go in, I think, blindly and buy. Who is the end customer that you feel will buy those photos?
You get a lot of plane collectors out there. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Great movie, and it's a great thought process for when you're buying for collectors out there. Those are the 3 image things that people really, really like. There's a lot of rare planes in there. There's some really cool. It's a lot of missile shots and things like that as well. When you're buying. You're buying for the collector, which is your ex-military, flyers. If it's train photos, you got a lot of people that like to collect train stuff, and then there's tons of car guys out there.
Wait, hold on. Did Craig ditch on the intro?
Right. No, he's going to be punished too when he comes back.
Oh yeah, you're damn straight, Ian.
The girls come in and he's chatting in the room. Oh yeah,
I Craig's having internet issues because he seems to not be able to stay on long enough. So.
Yeah,
but that's what when I sell a lot of ephemera, so I sell a lot of images and things like that. I talk about slides a lot. I talk about photos. You can acquire the stuff really cheap, and if I get $10 a photo, I'll be really happy. If I got $5 a photo, I'd be extremely happy with that because it's easy to list. I have a scanner that'll scan all those already been scanned. It took me about 20 minutes to scan those. So, you know, it's quick, easy, and you really, when you're doing those, you're just doing sell similar as you list it. And it's quick. It's like you've got all those postcards. It's just a matter of, you know, if you don't have a scanner for postcards, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get them all. You know, you can take photos of them and do that, and that'll take a little bit longer. But once you get them sorted into how you're going to sell them, is it selling them either in lots or you're going to sell them by the singles? It's not that hard to list. It's easy listing stuff, and then shipping of those is super simple too.
Do you ever take any of the photos and mat them? In other words, if you're sitting on it for a certain period, that you'll kind of make display
I've only
pieces.
done that with I have a really nice art poster that was made in the 60s that was really cool. It's an automobile one. I did that because that one deserved to be done, but I let that for the end user. I'm just selling the photo. That's why I'm going to sell it for like 10. I'm probably putting it in my store for $9.99. Right. And then not worry about let them decide what they want to do with them. And a lot of times I'll sell these to somebody else who will mass produce them at that point. I don't own the rights to these images. A lot of these are official Navy photos as well, so I'm not too worried about it. But you know, when you can buy stuff like that in you know, I spent $65. I've got enough listings. I could create 400 or 500 listings out of what I spent for $65.
Right.
Hey, Craig,
now, are they stamped on the back?
Some of them are stamped official Navy photo, and those will be a little bit more expensive because those are official. But all these have official Navy photos on the stampings on the front as part of the photo issue. So they look kind of like these have down here at the bottom. They tell you the year.
Oh, 57
number and everything. So most of these are 57. Most of these are 60s, all the way up to like 68, 69, but 50s and 60s. But I mean, you got really cool shots. Let me find the really neat ones. They're loading Vindicator bombers on the on aircraft carriers. So just neat stuff. Like I like selling stuff like this because I mean, here he is. You know, if I were to get $10 a photo, let's say I get $10 a photo, there's $1,500 and it fits in the palm of your hand. And it'll go into a filing cabinet like that.
Right.
Nice.
You just have to have a store level that allows you to list. Like I have an anchor store, so you have to have that level. I mean, if you have a premium store, that can eat up a lot of your listings. But if you've got a premium store with 300 listings, why not get something like that?
And how do you ship something like that? Do you put it
I
between?
use a stay flat mailer. They look like back here.
So they don't bend or.
I ship a lot of folded movie posters. This is a larger size, but that's all it is.
Okay. Like an envelope. Okay.
And these aren't people won't fold these. They know not to fold this type of stuff. These photos, and it's a lot stronger one as well. The smaller they get, the stronger they get.
And we can always write "do not bend."
Which is the challenge.
Don't write a little stamp deal that doesn't do not bend on it.
Well, my those are 8x10, so they'll go into a little smaller one, and it's actually a little thicker cardboard. I've never had anybody complain about getting something in one of my stay flats. The stay flats are expensive; they're not cheap. They're like 30 cents a piece. But the cheapness comes from when you buy in bulk. So I don't care what it costs because I charge for something like these photos. I'll probably charge $350 to ship them, and they'll ship pretty much anywhere in the country for about $309. I don't do Etsy. Copper Mustache asked about Etsy. I don't do any other platform but eBay. My personal philosophy, and not a lot of people subscribe to it, I'd rather sell to the second largest online commerce site. I don't know where Etsy's at this point, but eBay is so much larger, and I don't want to cross list.
Okay.
Well, Craig just messaged me. He's on his roof right now trying to adjust the antenna. He's got like a big ball of what's that stuff?
Aluminum foil?
Tin foil or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my! There's quite a few people that have joined into the chat. I don't know if you. Oh yeah, I guess you are in there. But
Turtle Traders there, and Nevermore, John.
Just joined. Yeah, Nevermore Antiques. John just joined. Hickory Springs, Valerie, Turtle Trader. What's up, y'all?
And
Kimberly.
John's gonna be Thursday, right, for your show, Pat?
Exactly. He was supposed to be not this past week, the week before, but he was. I kind of didn't realize that he was going out of town on vacation, and I had asked him to talk about opening a retail location. And
well, don't you think he actually opens the retail location before you can really talk about it?
Well, we're going to ask him questions on why he decided.
I'm just busting his chops. That's all.
Yeah, he's opened one before. Is he the person who's opened one before? Or maybe that's somebody else I'm thinking of.
No, he did Amazon actually before and used to drop ship. And
didn't he have an antique booth or something?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had antique booths and stuff like that. But now he bought his own building, and he's transferring all his stuff from the farm to, so he'll actually have more space. He actually has like a second house on his property that is filled with stuff. Because I busted his trap. He says, "Oh, when I get that cleaned out," he goes, "friends could come by and stay there." Well, that might be 10 years down the road. So maybe he's telling me not to visit him for 10 more years.
I used to know an auctioneer that literally was buying houses to put stuff in. He had he had 4 houses, and you could not walk. I mean, you walk in, there was a path to walk through the entire house. He would, because he was an auctioneer, so he'd get all these deals because people were passing up this stuff, and he'd buy it, and he wouldn't spend that much money. But he literally was having to buy houses to store stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe if he can get if he has the cash or can get the credit, maybe it's cheaper.
He had the cash.
A storage unit with equity.
I don't know of any auctioneer that's poor. So let me put it that way. So
I have a quick question. I noticed a lot of them on Goodwill today, and last couple months I've been there. Like more and more, it's becoming a dollar store of brand new stuff sealed, like Tupperware and like paint brushes. I mean,
and not just $1. I see a lot of things that are $5 or $7 or $8.
Right? Yeah, like they got brand new sheets. You know what?
You got to remember, Goodwill is not a charity. Goodwill is a private organization that they do good works, but they also are there to make money, make profit, and the profit is in the low dollar. Easy, they get the stuff manufactured, they buy it cheap. And it's just add-on sales to them. So I mean, it's just what it is. You don't have to buy it. I mean, it's what's going to be there. You have to be careful because, they're giving up real estate to their.
They're giving up space to put that stuff. So they're better turnover maybe for that stuff.
Well, and I wonder if they're not getting enough donated items that they feel they need a little.
Oh no! Look at the bins. They have more than enough donated items. But you got to remember, what does it take to get a donated item out of the back room and onto the shelves? I mean, it's a lot more work than just unpacking a box and throwing a bunch of Tupperware on a shelf.
Right. We don't have
your employees. So.
There's a lot of cherry pickers out my way, like where employees will actually take a lot of the better stuff for themselves and resell it.
Yeah, I mean, the rule for Goodwill has always been it's got to hit the sales floor before any of the employees can buy it. But we all know how that works. I mean, but I've been at Goodwill in years. I mean, I honestly don't shop Goodwill because I don't like to buy single pieces. That's one of my big things is I don't want to go out there. And am I giving away some money? Sure, but it's just not my style.
You get more buying more.
Yeah, I'd rather spend my money on an auction lot or, go to an auction and end up buying a table or something like that where I've got 50 items I paid $50 for. I got $1 an item in each thing, but maybe one item was worth $50, and the rest of the stuff is free at that point.
Mm-hmm. What about the stuff that you don't need and you don't want to sell? You just redonate those?
If it's good stuff, I'll probably sell it down the road. If it's not good stuff, I'll either donate or just throw it away. I don't like to run back and forth to the donation. So what I also have been running an auction out of my garage, an online auction, a local one. And so I've gotten rid of a 10 by 10 storage unit in my entire garage, which is 24 by 24 full of stuff that I accumulated that I didn't want to put on eBay, and I made almost $8,000 or $9,000, over the last 7-8 months doing that.
Right.
So there's other ways to get rid of stuff. You can, if you have a good relationship with an auctioneer, you can take it, just drop it off in box lots to an auctioneer, let them sell it, let somebody else buy it then.
Mm-hmm.
And you can
let it become somebody else's problem.
Exactly. Yeah. You've already looked it up. You know what it is, but you got to have decent stuff to get decent money out of box lots. Otherwise, they'll sell for $1 a piece, and then you're going to end up giving 50% to the auctioneer. But if you, what I used to do is I would actually take my box lots and I would seed them with decent stuff, you know, $5, $10, $15 items in there, and you know, put out 10 or 15 box slots, and I'd get $10 a box for them. You know, then I make, you know, $150, $200 on stuff I was either going to donate or throw away.
Nice. I'm gonna see how long I can stay on.
You can always take it to Savers, and I think they give you a coupon, right?
I don't have Savers in my town.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, we don't have them here.
We don't have them here either.
We have them here.
Yeah, I have quite a few here.
And Arc is another thrift store that there's quite a few of. I don't know if you guys have Arc thrift stores.
I've got Goodwill, Salvation Army, Volunteers of America, and a company called Ohio Thrift, which is probably the largest one here. And I live in Columbus. Columbus has got about 2.5 million people here. There's probably between Goodwill, Ohio Thrift, Volunteers of America, and Salvation Army, there's probably 30 locations. There's a Goodwill Ben's, and then there's probably 25 or 30 mom and pop thrift stores as well. I mean, it's thrifting heaven, but I just don't need to go to them.
Not when you got the auctions you got.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, if I was I don't do a lot of clothing. I have some leftover clothing, and every now and then I pick up a few things, but not very often. So it's not really my area. So that's one of the reasons why I don't need to go to thrift stores. I don't really buy that type of stuff either. I've done well out of them when I was selling clothing. I mean, it wasn't uncommon for me to walk in and spend $100 and get $400 or $500 worth of clothing. So, you know, they're good for people, but it's just not what I want to sell.
All right.
I like selling stuff like that where I can put it into a filing cabinet and not have to deal with it.
But that's where what works for Eric works for Eric, and you know that may not work for other people.
Yeah,
everybody's different. And it doesn't mean that what Eric's doing is right or wrong. It's just right for him.
It works for
There's
him.
no right or wrong in this game. It's what you're comfortable with, what you like selling. Because if you don't like selling something, you're never going to list it. It's that simple. I mean, if you can have a great stuff, but if you don't want to touch it, it doesn't do any good.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah,
ask if clothing is bad. Clothing is not bad. It's just competitive.
right.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with clothing is it's super, super competitive. I mean, just do a YouTube, just do an eBay search for Ralph Lauren polo shirt. And look what your competition is. And then do a YouTube search on 10 toy boat. And then look at your competition. And then see where your money is at, you know, where you get a little higher dollar, because again, there's less of those pieces out there. If you're, you know, when I list these military photos, you know, I did some research on them before I started scanning them. There's, you know, 50, 60 people selling them, but there's only 50 or 60 listings. You know, not if I pull it, it's probably last time I looked, it was over 1 million deals. 1 million people were selling Ralph Lauren shirts.
But if you look back, 2.5 years ago, you could sell. I mean, there wasn't but a quarter of that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a lot more competitive. Again, that's where most new sellers start, is in the clothing area, because it's easy to find the stuff. You know, but clothing is a great thing to cut your teeth on, because if you can sell clothing on eBay, you can sell pretty much anything else. Yep. Clothing, it's a pain in the butt. You got to take good photos. You got to do measurements. You got to do all this. You got to have all this.
The measurements.
Yeah,
that's what's keeping out of it.
I scanned all those photos. Their photos are done now. They're in my system, and it took me less than 20 minutes to do 150 of them. To do 150 T-shirts, I got to take 6 Motrin, because my back's going to be aching by the time I get done with all that. So,
well, you are 75 years old, so
I feel like it's. I mean, I'm getting low. This was 1,000 bottle last year, so.
You know, Eric, what you were saying is very true. If you don't like it, you won't say.
Yes, Jason.
I even had Eric come there. Yeah, I had these 3 leather jackets. They're not cheap. Nice leather jackets. They've been sitting there for 2 years. Eric came down, took photos of them for me, because I didn't want to even touch them. And that was 2 months ago, and I still just have the photos in a folder somewhere.
Yeah, and we're talking about a leather jacket with a retail price tag of $1,000 on one of them.
Pat, go there and get the leather jackets.
Yeah, but
I told this winter.
quote unquote, the $1,000 leather jackets are like those Wilson leather jackets that are like
it's probably
discounted by
about
like
150 bucks.
80%.
I mean, it's still altogether. He's probably got $300 or $400 worth of leather jackets, and he just doesn't want to list. And I've got stuff like that. I just found a box. It's full of barware stuff that a local person, one of the reps, would go out and hand out all T-shirts to all the people in the bar, and they're for like Kid Rock whiskey or whatever it was. But yeah, that stuff will sell. I just haven't gotten it. Just not really want to get to it. I mean, I gave away, matter of fact, before, probably 6-8 weeks ago, I gave away like 10 big bags of clothing that I'd been hoarding forever. And I'm like, I'm never going to list these.
See, I'm kind of hoping when you come down here next that you'll do the descriptions for them.
Yeah.
People like T-shirts. People like T-shirts, especially advertisement ones.
Oh, I've got some advertisement T-shirts from the 80s out in my garage. I kept those because I might list those eventually.
Jason, you waiting to come? Are you waiting to come hit the button to submit the listing?
I'll do that.
Maybe if you lock them up by size and then just add a few of them.
Oh, I could do it. It's just one of those things. Like, I'd much rather list these photos that are more interesting, and since I have so many, it's like postcards. Back in the corner there, I've got 2 giant stacks of postcards. I've got postcards all over. I got slides all over. I got things that I find more interesting that I'll get to.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get rid of them right away because, again, I know there's a good value there. It's one of those things where and it's not like since I deal in strictly vintage and antique, I'm not worried about catching the hottest trend.
Well, and you get to the point sometimes where's my time best spent? Where am I going to make the most money for my time?
That's the biggest. Because I'm in a little side group, and I listed 22 items yesterday, and they were blown away that I listed 22. And that's actually, that's a kind of a weekday when I really get down to listing. I can list 50, 60, 70 items because it's so easy to list this stuff. Where I can't do 20 or 25 or 30 shirts or jeans or anything like that in one day without killing myself. That's me though. There's some people that can really bust out clothing, and more power to them.
That's why typing, Jason. Are you listing those jackets?
No, I'm answering a question.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. I've tried to sell the stuff that Jason has sold, and I've had minor success with it, but I can't sell the stuff he does because I don't have that much interest in it. The bigger stuff, the small stuff, he's taught me enough that I've actually done really well with it, and I've learned enough about it. But those are rare for me to find. He finds the stuff a lot more often than I do.
I think what it comes down to is that we all, between me and Eric, we have lots of items, in the back rooms, inventory, whatever you want to call it. And it's just, what are you going to pick to sell first? The stuff you enjoy, the stuff you like,
I made a joke. I was joking with somebody in a listing. They said, "Oh, I got like 50 items in my death pile list." I said, "I've got 50,000." And I'm not kidding. I could list 50,000 individual listings if I wanted to. That's just what I have because I bought in such bulk. I talk about those blue binders behind me. There's 10,000 slides in those binders. I got a couple boxes over here. There's 10,000 slides of trains.
And do you have files of pictures that you've already taken, or do you?
No, when I actually do the photos and get them on that's when I list the stuff.
So so you do the pictures as you're listing.
Yep. So I scanned all these photos tonight. I just haven't gotten to them yet. I'll get to them tomorrow probably.
I do the opposite. I have everything. Like I'll pick this phone is full of pictures of things that I need to list. But I always take the measurements and weights and everything, and I put those in there, so I don't have to pull them back out and look for those things.
I don't mind storing something, putting something away in a tote because or it's in these binders here. That's how I bought them. I just don't like to do the work and then put it aside. If I'm going to do half the listing work, I'm going to finish it up and put it online. But that is the advantage to having an anchor store. I'm not worried about whether I'm going over my listings or anything like that. I don't care about that. I've got 2,100 items up on eBay right now, and so I've got plenty of room to put more items up. If I ever got to the point where I was getting 8 or 9 or 10,000 items on it, then I would probably start to lot things, and I don't want to have 10,000 individual items. Keeping track of that many is a pain in the butt. But yeah, I also don't use my phone for anything. I use a desktop and I use a regular camera. I won't use my phone. I use my phone for looking stuff up occasionally, but that's it. Yeah. But again, like I said, everybody's different. I mean, it's so easy to. That's the beauty of this type of job. Yeah, you don't have to. What I do isn't going to work for somebody who doesn't work like I work. You know what Jason does. Jason works a certain way, and it wouldn't work for everybody.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. I think the saddest part is I have so much stuff, but my store has like 130 items right now.
Yeah, but you typically list in batches, and when you do, you'll list 200 or 300 items, but you'll sell 3/4 of those in a week.
Yeah, no, I do have a good sell through, so that's what keeps me.
Yeah, your sell through is way better than mine, but.
Now, the Copper Mustache is asking, and I have my opinion too about it. What makes clothing items different than any other item? I just think, my opinion, having sold since 1998 on eBay, and then when I started back full time in November, there's just an overabundance of it. It's so easy. Now what you're doing is you're going to Goodwill and they're charging you, let's say $5, $6 for a George shirt. George is a Walmart brand. When for $2 more, you can get it new. Now, if it's a name brand, Nike, and it's in good shape or something with tags. But there, I mean, I can tell you right now, I have a tractor trailer filled with clothes, and I don't have the confidence in it that I could sell it that fast. You're basically having to give it away. Your example, like those pictures, they may be only, how many people have access to get pictures like that? They don't.
Well, I mean, a good example is you went out today, you went to an auction, you spent a couple $100, and you got thousands of postcards.
Right.
Okay, so now if you go to a thrift store and spend $200, we're not talking about a bins, we're talking about a regular thrift store because not everybody has a bins near them.
Right.
That might actually equal only 25 or 30 items.
Right, exactly.
So you've now got thousands of items. You can sit there and go through and pick out the best. You list the best, you lot the rest. You may end up with a couple hundred listings out of that and may make $1,000 or $2,000 when that $200 worth of clothing probably wouldn't make that much and it would sit longer because of all the competition that's out there.
Yeah, and not just from us being resellers, but the accessibility of all these thrift stores. I mean, I know myself, I've caught myself on Sundays in our area, they have 49-cent days. If a product, I guess, is sitting at approximately 6 weeks in the Goodwill, they sell the stuff for 49 cents. And I've bought loads of jeans that way, thinking, I'm going to sell these jeans for $8 or $9. And guess what? I'm still sitting on probably 70% of them. Yeah. They're just not, because you're able to drive up the street. But if you like postcards and unique things, you just can't go up the street and just pick them up.
Well, the problem, and again, why can't you do it with clothes? Because you just can't get enough clothes at the right price. Now, if you have a bins nearby, you can get a little bit. But what does a pair of jeans cost you at the bins? Jeans are what, £3? I mean, I don't know what I don't know what a bin costs. I mean, anybody been to the bins? What do they charge for by the pound?
Probably a couple of $3.50 if I had to guess. I've never bought any, but I think it's typically the $1, $1.25 a pound.
Yeah, at Goodwill's, the jeans average around $3 or $4.
Yeah,
Salvation Army, they can go $5 to $10.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen around here. I've seen some of my thrift stores sell name brand Levi's type jeans for $9.99.
Right.
So, I'm not saying you can't make money at that price, because you probably can, but at $9.99, if you get $19.99 by the time you ship it, and I charge shipping, so I mean, I'm not counting the shipping, but on a $20 sale, you're going to pay $3.50 in fees.
Right. I think you really just have to know, if you're going to sell clothes, you need to know your brands, for sure. Because I mean, there's good money. It's not my preference either. I'm with y'all on the time, it takes, but I think part of it is because I've been reselling hard goods or, more home decor type of things for far longer. I've never been sort of a fashionista anyway, so it wouldn't be something for me to easily go and find. But on the rare occasion, if it's a good brand and I know that it's going to bring in, 25 or above profit, then of course be all over it. But it takes there's a lot more I have to sift through in finding that. So time-wise for me, I just don't really bother too much. I mean,
when I go to the good,
I'll get it from the bins more before I'll go necessarily and get it from any of the thrift stores, because I'm immediately going to the hard good aisles, you know, and looking for the most unique thing that I can easily even see from far away almost.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
You're not losing too much money.
Right. It makes me think of like the people like we, you know, our reseller friend Chris, Liquidation 08. He does a lot of clothes, but he buys stuff in bulk and he knows exactly what he's looking for. And he does quite well. So I think the most
sporty things,
for brands, you know, that you're looking for.
It's brand again. Anything good brand is always going to sell well, but it's what your cost of entry is, and then your time factor. Because to go to a Goodwill and shop for 2 hours, and then go and you get 10 items that are quality good items. Because you remember, there's not only are you shopping there, everybody else is shopping there, and you're not just competing against resellers. You're competing against people that just want to buy the clothes to wear. So I'm not saying clothes are bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing clothing sellers at all. I've been accused of that in the past. I'm not. I'm just saying it's not for me.
Right. I'm with you. It's not for me either. I get it.
It's not. If you look at the competition on eBay, you want to be selling the thing that nobody else is selling. That's how you're going to maximize your time and your dollars. You know, depending on what it is. I like to deal in one-off things, one-of-a-kind stuff. That's why I like images and slides and things like that. It's one-of-a-kind. That's my motto. You know, I sell stock certificates. I bought a bunch of stock certificates. You don't find those every day. They haven't printed stock certificates since the 90s. I mean, you know, for mass production there. So it's that type of stuff is more what I like to sell. If you love, if you're big into fashion and you know all the name brands and you know what's really worth dollars, you can make a lot of money.
Selling,
Right. I'm with you though on that. Like I like to sell the things that people have saved in their searches so that when it pops up, they're like, I want this and I want it now. Those are my favorite items to sell.
Yeah. Well, it's also recession proof. You know, when it's easy to, can I buy a pair of Levi's jeans or can I buy a pair of Walmart jeans? I don't know. Just the cheaper jeans. You know, I can buy a pair of jeans. I need a pair of jeans. I just buy the cheapest pair of jeans. What I sell to is a collector that has the disposable income to buy that type of thing. What Jason sells machine tools and things like that. They need that type of thing. It's not that they want it; they need that type of thing. And now you got a different customer there. He's got to have it. So then the price is whatever I want to get out of it.
Hey Pat, I'm gonna have to let my dogs out and go to bed here, man. Thanks so much for having me on. Really
Anthony, I appreciate it. Reach out to me again.
Okay.
You know, because I enjoy talking with you and stuff, and I appreciate taking the time. I know you have to get up for church tomorrow, so and I know we're gonna hook up sometime because you said you and the wife are gonna be coming through.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to plan something out. We want to check out that Kalahari, and I want to go see that flea market you have in some of your videos.
Yeah, not a problem. And don't forget, you owe me a steak dinner, so I'm not.
I got you, man. I got you.
But I don't have coupons for that. I only have coupons for Arby's, Wendy's, Burger King, and McDonald's.
Don't worry about it, man. It's on me.
All right. Hey, anybody who hasn't subscribed, this is Anthony leaving Pittsburgh. Just subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And show him some love.
It's one of the 20 links below.
You want to be on YouTube too.
Aw.
Quiet. All right, guys. Have a good night.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's what I like to sell. That's what I like to. That's what I try to tell everybody.
You're entitled to your and you know what? I think it's important to enjoy what you're doing. You know, I the last few times I bought clothes, guess what's still sitting there? I mean, and it's been like a couple months since I picked up clothes. So that's obviously a sign that maybe I should just not pick up anymore at all. Because I never list them kind of right away. So I always list the things that I like first that's gonna bring the most profit for me, and the faster I could sell it, the better. I want to get it off my hands as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, if I enjoyed selling clothing, I'd still be selling clothing. I still have some clothes in my store. I mean, you know, it's been listed.
You don't seem like a fashionista. Nothing against you, Eric, but I don't see it. You know,
I know enough to be dangerous. I know enough to buy things, but that's also one of those things that changes very rapidly. what's in, what's not in, you know. And again, I'm more of an antique collectibles kind of guy. I don't like to. I mean, most of my stuff in my house is 30, 40 years old. So I mean, it's just who I am. That's what I prefer to deal with.
And there's other, in my opinion, there's other negatives. And I'm not bashing clothing because I know there's a lot of people that make a lot of money doing it. But you look at it a couple ways. You pick up a shirt or whatever, and it's not something that's easily identified. Even though it's got the CN, the RN, whatever the numbers are on them, that's not going to direct you to that exact item. If you're sourcing them, you're flipping through, and you know it's just a lot of time sourcing. You know, in my opinion.
I do sell clothing, but I watch what I buy. I mean, there's something I bought like 2 months ago, and I haven't listed it yet because it's a winter item. And I'm sure people say, "Oh, I'll still sell in the summer," but it's a vintage Eagles sweatshirt.
Yep.
And
is that a Mitchell and Ness?
You should still list it.
The Legends.
Legends.
Yeah.
Legends.
You should still list it. It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. Somebody out there might want.
I agree. I just haven't. That's kind of the excuse I've been using because I've been listing other things. You know, first and stuff. Hey, here's John. Our how do you say it, Jason?
What?
You always make fun when I say our special guest.
Oh, the special guest, Pat. Yeah. I guess there can't
be in the background working.
I guess there can't be a special guest Pat when Pat's like hosting the show, right?
True.
Yeah.
Pat's on 85% of YouTube, so he can't be special everywhere.
Not much asking me why did I not list it now. I'll be honest, I've just been too busy, and I have a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff. I'm overwhelmed with inventory, and it kind of skips my mind. But I'm like Eric. When I do take pictures, I list the stuff right away. I don't take a bunch of pictures because for me, once it's fresh in my mind when I'm taking that picture, I'm listing it that day. So sometimes what I'll do is
do you take more than one photo, or do you take I'll take say 10 or 15 pictures of 15 different items, and then I'll list.
Exactly.
Do you do that? Okay.
I do. Right.
Oh yeah, you got to list in bulk. You got a photo in bulk. You got to list in bulk.
Some in 5s or 10s.
Yeah, it's like I scanned all these photos. I will list all these photos in one batch. You have to streamline your process. Because otherwise, if you grab an item, photo it, and then go list it, you're way off as far as your time frames there. You've got to, because even when you're doing clothing, if you're doing clothing, you want to be doing a bunch of clothes at the same time because you're in that mode. You're taking the photos, you're using your mannequin, you're laying out your photo, your measurements, doing the whole thing, and then you got like 10 or 15 items you can list. That's the speed factor. If you can't list 4 or 5 items an hour, you're hurting yourself. I mean, you got to be able to get those speed up because again, the more you list, the more you sell.
Right. Once I'm on a roll. One time in 2 weeks, I listed 400 items.
One 500 in a weekend once.
Oh boy, you were on a roll.
Yeah, I mean, I have about 1,400 listings right now, but I could easily list another 1,000. The issue is, and someone asked, why did I list the jacket? What happens is you start, okay, I got to go sourcing, and then I got to go do this, and I want to list this first because I think that'll sell better. And it's just a matter, to be honest, one day what I need to do and is actually, if people follow me, they know sometimes I'm putting listing and listing because I'm listing stuff and listening to somebody else's YouTube channel in the background. But you get caught up in the conversation. I'll be honest, YouTube can be a distraction, especially during the day when you're trying to list stuff. Let's be honest, you can list anytime you want. But I do want to get to a point where, especially going into, I feel I've been, the summer slowdown. But I do know myself by September, I want to really maximize both stores and have the 2,000 listings. Yeah, excuses. I know.
The key is to get a routine. It's a job. Treat it like a job.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be full-time, if you want to do this full-time, you got to treat it like a job. You got to set a routine, do the things you want to do. And I'm not believe me, I'm not the best at it either. Jason and I hang out pretty much all day long, and we both can suck each other down, or we can actually drive each other up. I mean, it just kind of depends.
Okay, those weren't the choice of words that I would have used.
Yeah. I'm drinking. But it's just one of those things. You got to have a routine set down. I like to list at night, so I get up. I get up. I do my shipping. We hang out. We BS. We look. We source, and then I do my photos and I start listing. The later it gets. So I won't get done until 12 or 1, but I'm listing at night.
Right.
That's my routine. So you got to have a routine.
Do you guys use Sell Similar, or do you just make your own new?
Oh, Sell Similar. I haven't made a listing in I don't know how long. Steal the listing, file the serial numbers off of it, change the photos. It's just so much easier to do that.
Easier, right? Mm-hmm.
Why recreate the wheel every time?
Exactly.
Because time is money,
Yes,
Right.
it is. Be smart, work smart, not hard, for sure.
And I think it's important to how much you price your items too. You can either list to sell or list to sit.
Yeah,
You need to make it, affordable, and for that person, for it to be worth it for them to buy it.
And know when to pull it and toss it. If it's something that's been listed for a long time and it's a weird item and you couldn't find anything else like it, there couldn't be a reason. Don't be afraid to pull stuff and write it off.
Everybody loves me for that.
I very rarely pull items because I've already done the work and it's just sitting in a room anywhere. So for me, that's not something I'm going to do. I mean, I won't list something if I buy it and I realize it's crap, then it'll get tossed if I'm in my research. Because again, if you buy in large lots and everything, that is what it is. I mean, Copper Mustache, actually, talk to the part-timers guys as well. It's not that much different, really. You've got your regular job, whatever you're doing, and then part-time, you still got to set up your processes. You still got to do your routines and everything. You just can't do it as hard as a full-timer has to do it. That's all. Right. If you're going to do it part-time, work 2 hours a day on it part-time.
Right, activity is what's most important for sure. Even if you are part-time, being smart about when you're doing things. I like to tell people to use the scheduled listings to your advantage if you can. If you're only listing a few items a week, be kind of smart about when you do it.
Once you buy it,
on the sense of if things get stale, because some of my items are so they're either so unique that they'll sell real quick, or sometimes they do sit. And for me, I have kind of a space issue, so I like to get rid of things after a couple months to make that room. But now that everything has gone to listed until canceled, before that was really kind of a much bigger thing for me. But now it's just like that.
That changed my whole business model, because I used to list everything as a 5-day listing.
Right.
Yeah, I had 1,800 items, and they were all 5-day listings, because I would just relist them when they came up, and you got fresher, you got bigger hits. And when they forced that change on me, I had to think about my business and how I'm doing stuff now. Yep. But I'm not afraid to end a bunch of items and relist them if I want to refreshen them or something like that. But I've been rolling with the eBay said they changed things, and supposedly it's not that bad, and I really haven't seen much of a slowdown in sales. So I'm kind of okay with it, but I do notice that if I sell one thing in a certain category, suddenly I'll sell a bunch of things in those same categories. If I sell a stock certificate, I'll sell 5 stock certificates to different people. Just weird stuff like that. It just kind of rolls with it. But it's you got to do what works best for you.
Right. Yeah. And I'm with you on the whole. Everybody being a little different in how they go about things, and because we're sourcing different things and we're listing, different things at certain times, and how we, it's like there's so many things. Do you put a lot in the description, or do you put a little bit in the description?
My descriptions suck. I have nothing in my description. Yeah. I have all I do in my descriptions, honestly, is I take my title, I copy it down in my description. Unless it's a unique thing, it gets a little blurb. If not, that's what's my description. Nothing else, because nobody reads description.
Right. Yeah.
and pull up on your phone, because mobile seems to be, I'm about 50-50 mobile to desktop. Pull up on your phone an eBay listing. Can you see the description? No, you got to punch another button.
It's at least a click away.
So put your description and your photos will sell your item.
And truthfully, I think it's the very first picture is all they look at. Sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means your first one's got to be, got to sell your item.
Yeah.
If you sell a board game, you better set that board game up and have all the pieces out and make it look really cool. That's your main photo. If it's an open board game, if you don't do that, you're not going to sell it. Look at every board game that sells. That's typically what sells the game, is that very first photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just a picture of the box closed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, I'm gonna take off. Like I said. Good.
Hey, later, Glenn.
Glenn, thanks for stopping in. Anybody who's subscribed, Swamp Picker, me and him passed 1,000 subscribers last Thursday. And we're actually going to be joining each other down at the meetup August. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll see everybody. Bye.
Hey, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn.
Okay.
So does everybody here list every day? Do you do like listings every single day?
No.
Or no?
I don't. I handle them out.
Well, if I say, should I? Yes. Do I? No.
Yeah, I said we're not perfect. We all have our issues. I mean, I can go a week without listing. I still my sales will still be there.
Do I listen to YouTube every day? Yes.
But again, like I said, we understand what works in the business. It doesn't mean we do it. I mean, there's days I'll go on and I'll list, 10, 12 days in a row. And then I might not list anything for 2 weeks just because.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. I'm exactly the same way.
But I've noticed that when I do list every day, the sales pick up.
Listing sales. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listed 12 things, 13 things today and sold 4 of them.
Yeah.
And I think I sold too cheap because I listed it and it sold pretty quick. I'm not really good with old lighting, and I bought a bunch of old lighting at an auction, and I should have ran an auction because right now I have a lot of 55 He-Man figures on auction, and they weren't that great of shape. So I started them out at 99 cents, and they're up to $186.
Nice.
So,
wow.
Cool.
Here's the thing with lighting, John. If you see OC white, it's usually worth some good money.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Hundreds usually.
Wow. I've got some more to list. These were more Art Deco. They were square, and they had 4 lights on each side. And then they had another square one, and there were 2 lights on it. And it had the old knob and 2 wiring, and it was one of the light sockets that burnt out. And I listed it for $35, and it sold like that. So it must have been pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it sold that fast, it probably was cheap. Square lighting, that might have even been arts and crafts. So it might have been a little bit older.
Yeah.
Did the same buyer buy any of the other items you mentioned?
I haven't listed anything yet. I'm going to do those as auctions.
Yeah, because I've noticed that when one person comes in, then they look through your store and they get other things too.
Yeah, if they think, he's from Kansas City, so he lives close. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Buy as much as you want, right?
Yeah, they think since I'm in here and I'm going to pay for shipping, might as well get 2 things, and that they'll ask for combined shipping.
I did this is How to Build. It's from 1936, and I got the 1938. It's a little bit more a little bit rougher shape, but I got them both for $6 at the auction the other day. I thought they were kind of cool.
Yeah, and I would probably put those up for about $24.99.
Yeah.
And then charge $5, or actually those I charge $5 to ship them. So
would you list them together or separate?
Yeah, the ones in pretty rough shape. If I list them together, I'd probably put a little higher price on. I'd probably put like $34.99 on it, and then knowing I'm going to have a sale on it, so that'll probably bring it down to about $27 or something like that.
Yeah, they're cool. That auction, there was a lot of neat stuff at it. But man, it was going high. But I did get a lot of really cool stuff for the store. I bought a ladder. I bought 2 ladders that go together, but they're they're probably 12-foot tall wooden ladders. So I'm gonna put $75 a piece on those and put them in the shop, and I only paid $30 for them. So
Well,
there's some stuff.
That's the nice thing about having a shop or a booth. You can always go a little higher price because you know you're going to get a little higher price for that person who's walking in and shopping because they're not having to pay shipping on something.
Yeah. I try not to do eBay pricing. I try to look something up and be like, oh, it sells for 40 on eBay, so I'll put it in my shop for 30.
Yep.
Mainly because I don't mind giving someone a little bit of a deal. And normally, if I probably pay $2-3 for it, so I just want to I want to build up a clientele, turn some stuff over, and then be able to get some of my money back out of this, because I probably got $5,000 or $6,000 invested in inventory in the store that well, it ain't open yet, because I don't want it to be opened and not look good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I was about to give you a hint. You know, you won't sell anything until you open the doors, but I guess you already know that.
Yeah. We're thinking
It'll
July.
help to open the doors.
Yeah.
If you could open up the floor,
People come in the store and I'm like, we're not open yet. I'm like people are just chomping at the bits to get in there. So, but I need smalls. I need to find some smalls. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go to St. Louis and hit the bins and hit just to find more decorative-y home decor type stuff that it really doesn't classify as antique, but would be a shelf, a filler to put stuff on the shelf so I can rotate it through and start putting better stuff as the store opens and I sell stuff and get more of my investment back out. But we're going to talk about this on Pat's show on Thursday.
Yeah.
More to be continued.
I mean, that's the negatives about having a store. If you're successful, you got to get out there and source. But if you're out there sourcing, you can't keep the store open because you're running it by yourself. I mean, and you're dealing with your wife or your employees or something. I mean, it's one of those. It's the hard part about everybody kind of has that. Well, I'd like to open a store, but man, there's a lot that goes into it and thinking about it and how are you going to set it up. So
it is. I second guessed myself a couple times in this project. Due to health reasons, I'm like, man, I ain't the best of health. I'm only 39 years old, but my health is just not that great, and back issues and being diabetic, and have issues that come along with that. But I'm like, but that's what gets me out there and keeps me active, and it gets me moving. And that's just, if not, I'm going to sit here and get fatter and I'm more unhealthy. And like tonight, we went up to the shop to download something because we have good internet there. So me and my son went out. We walked 1.5 miles just because it's either sit there at the shop and watch his Xbox download or just go for a walk and talk and have some time with my son. So, well, that's the part about the business that I like. It's giving me the opportunity to spend time with my family more than anything.
When are you gonna hire Jason to run the shop?
I wish. I'd about, Jason. I've tried to lure him over here with my other house, but he won't bite. He said he don't have a car. He wants to stay working over there. I was like, I don't know why in the world you want to stay working over there for over there making hamburgers 6 days a week.
Maybe he noticed the store hasn't been opened yet. Maybe that was a little tip off for him. He better keep his.
Maybe he'll change his mind when you open the store.
No. Just I've offered him, he could stay in my other house rent free, so that it'd help him get on his feet, so that he could get a car and get some money saved up, and and just so that he, then he could help me fix that house down there, because it does need a little bit of work. But if me and another guy can knock out everything that it needs in probably a week, and it'd be a situation that he could help himself. I don't really want to hire anyone yet because I don't have any money. I'm not broke, but I've never not had this. It's been a long time since I had this amount of money in my checking accounts.
So what's anything going on for tomorrow, guys? I'm actually planning that because it rained last week. I'm going to Knoebels. I was supposed to do that last week. So we're going to the amusement park, having a family day.
That sounds fun.
I'm going to an auction.
An auction.
Going to church. Oh, church.
Yeah.
I was gonna sleep.
And after that, I'm gonna list.
I took the weekend off.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Yeah, we know because Jason was supposed to go buy stuff for me and he just didn't go. So Pat bought all the stuff he was going to buy for me.
I was getting the auction when I got high.
And then my wife tells my son, "Oh, Dad was hanging out with his friends." I said, "There was no hanging out with his friends. They ditched me." I said, "I went there by myself."
I was supposed to get up at 6 a.m. for this flea market, and I'm laying there in bed. By about 4:30, I think I fell asleep, and then I woke up to my alarm at 6. I was like, "No, there's just no way."
Yeah, he did that to me last week. Pat, remember he was supposed to meet me at the auction, and then he didn't show up because he was tired because he didn't get to sleep in time.
Well, that's because the storage unit from hell for friggin' 4 days.
I was there too, you know. It's not like I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then I had a 7-hour drive home.
Jason needs all auctions that start at noontime.
Yeah, I usually don't get up till like 9. I hate these early ones when they start at 9.
I'm with you. I'm not really, but if I have it in my mind, I went to bed last night. I had 4 hours worth of sleep last night, but I did take an hour nap this afternoon. But I actually went to what's today? Yeah, I went to the movies last night because I went and saw Toy Story 4.
And how was that, by the way? How was that?
I love it, but I love kids movies. I love Disney, and I was telling somebody else locally about it, and I go, "Oh, I'd burn that place down. I hate that with all those people and all the, I'm like, for me, I love it."
Holy crap! Somebody's got a problem. Okay, Batman, slow your roll.
I don't know. I love to go because my kids are still little enough, especially my son. Like, it's really cute and exciting to watch him. I watch him more than I honestly watch a movie sometimes, depending on what movie we go see. But I do make sure we go and watch in the theater with the recliners where there's only like 7 people in a row. That is my favorite one to go to.
I tend to fall asleep in those kind of places.
Yeah, that's all we have up here now is everybody's got those recliners, and that's actually you got to pick your seats before you go get your tickets. You have to pick your seats now.
Yeah, but that's awesome. You don't wait in the
That's how
line.
it is.
You don't have to try to hurry to try to find good seats. If there's a bunch of you, you can show up a little later, and I think that it's awesome.
The problem sometimes they're too comfortable, and you almost start falling asleep. And now yesterday I was wearing shorts because it was warm around here, and my damn legs were cold. I don't like the cold as much anymore. I should have took a blanket, but
I like those theaters. Over here, they even bring your orders to you.
Ooh, we have one of those. We have one of those places.
I don't remember the last time I went to a movie.
Our movie theater is one of them old school ones where the seats flip up and pushes your kidneys through your tonsils, and the floor is sticky. And it's just like we have not. I don't go to the movies anymore. I'm just like, it's for one, it's super expensive.
Oh my gosh, it is expensive. Yeah.
I take my son every now and then because he wants to see a movie every now and then, so I'll take him. But you walk in, it's $50 by the time you get your tickets and popcorn and all that.
Oh, yeah. It's not cheap.
my son joined that membership for $8.99 a month, so he got free tickets last night for $20 and got a free thing of popcorn. Oh, which reminds me, I'm always sometimes on Mondays, Kimberly has her auctions with Derek and there's a group of them. I don't remember all of them, but she won't sell me the duck. So last night my son bought me this
that's cute.
at the movies. So I don't need her. I have bad news for her. I don't need her $100 shipping duck.
Yeah.
I got my own.
Are you going to duct tape that to the wall?
Actually, when I set up my office downstairs, I'm going to have it on a shelf in the back.
Yeah. It's really cute.
Pat, we don't want to see a video of you and the duck in the bathtub. We don't want to see that.
Oh yeah, we don't want to see that video. No.
Oh no, he
Delta did a video.
Pat in the bubble bath with the duck. No. No.
No, Rebecca's asking me, Pat, did I just do what? What did I do?
What'd you do, Pat?
I don't know. And the Copper Mustache wants to know about garage sales or yard sales. I do both. Wherever I can source stuff. I mean, on the way home from the auction today, I stopped at 2 yard sales. Now, at one of the yard sales, I picked up 2 tail lights for a Ford Windstar, and they only wanted $1 a piece. Wow. I mean, car parts. I've sold car parts before on eBay. They go for good money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't typically do yard sales, or I'll do estate sales, but I don't do yard sales or garage sales. There's just the stuff I like to sell just typically isn't there. A lot of people make a lot of money at yard sales and garage sales. That's just not what I usually do.
I like to hunt for toys or figurines or Barbies or paintings, statues. Those are all things I do like to hunt for at garage sales.
Yeah,
I don't hit them. Honestly, I'd rather hit up a thrift store. There's a few kind of mom and pop shops that aren't Goodwill or Savers or any of those that I prefer to go to. I have a good relationship with the lady who runs one that's real close. And so I just go in there, and she knows that I'm willing to, buy a few things. She always cuts me a deal, and she knows what I like. So she shows me right away immediately. That's my favorite, because I can roll in there and 10, 20 minutes and have a couple bags of a couple $100 worth of things, and that I only paid like $10 for.
Yeah.
Wow. And the Dita, or however you pronounce this name, I bought a 2014 Silverado headlight at Goodwill for $15 and flipped it for $225. Don't sleep on car parts. Yeah, that's a good flip, definitely.
I preach that all the time. Go to your local pick and pull, especially if you live in a smaller town. Find your local salvage yard. Find out where the tow trucks dump their cars at. A lot of tow trucks have salvage yards. Go there, pull center the items that you want to make money. Pull center console lids off of cars, and they're about $100 a piece.
Somebody else had a good point. Do not buy and sell things that get broken in parking lots, the mirrors, things like that, and things that get broken. Not just that they don't work anymore, but things that get broken in a car for sure. Yep. People are always looking for that stuff.
I mean, yeah.
And I just test that stuff. You know it's good or not. You can look at it and just tell if it's good or not. So
right.
I just listed a set of 4 F-150 Bronco OEM wheel center caps. I picked them up for at an auction. I picked them up for $3 and just listed them for $50.
Nice.
Right. I had a guy just today that I know that has a garage, and look what he messages me.
No, nice.
Because he knows he knows that he owns the properties that I show, and he owns a garage. And I said to him, take those Range Rover headlights off. I sold them within 3 days for $250. And if he would have junked the car, he would have got around $150, $200, whether the headlights are there or not. So, I got people from garages actually reaching out to me, wanting for me to make them. They're busy. It's just a way to kind of move stuff and make extra money. And one guy that I'm working with, I get 50% of what it sells for. So, I mean, that's a good deal for me.
That's the only way I would do it. You go around and pop off the hubcap covers for Ford F-250s. You'll make a fortune. Just a little B&E or whatever they would. What do they call that when you steal parts off of a car? People out there trying to make money. Like doing stuff like armed robbery, holding people up at ATMs. But if they were just smart enough to know if they could pop the wheel caps off of a Ford F-250 and get $300 for a set of those on eBay, they'd never be armed robbing anyone again.
Wow.
They would probably only sell about 3 or 4 sets before someone would figure out that they're selling stolen parts on eBay.
You're right, probably, but I mean, they're going to get caught doing stick-ups anyway.
John starts out with a good idea, and then when he that's not going to work for more than a week.
You don't know that. There's people that do stuff that get by with it for a long time.
Yeah, and they always say karma, and it always seems that certain people never get karma.
Yeah. You just pop them off and run, and then they got to prove possession's 9/10 of the law from that point on. Where are you getting all these from? I don't answer questions.
For the record, we're not endorsing that here on the show. Just
No, I'm just kidding.
I was wondering because when I drove down to Jason's, I came home, 2 were missing. So I got to maybe check Jason's inventory.
Yeah.
Sometimes check on the side of the road. I have seen wheel caps on the side of the road, and I have pulled over and picked them up. You don't never know what you're going to find out there. I mean, you'll never know. Right here, off the side of the road.
Well, yeah, that's what happens. You go to make the turn, and you hit the curb, or you hit a pothole, and then I've seen it already. And all of a sudden, it's spinning, and it's flying like 50 feet in the air, and then you're looking, you're looking back, and you're like, where did it go?
Auction dog.
Walking tonight, and somebody in the front yard, there was a hubcap setting in the front yard.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, tell your brother.
Church sales. I love church
Oh,
sales.
wait, I want to see the dog. I want to see the dog.
Oh,
I know Pat is not about animals, but I
there's a
want to see the
request.
dog.
Hold on, there's a request.
Pat has a thing against my dog.
Yeah.
How about? Just
Oh,
kidding.
your dog. When you posted a picture on Instagram and Facebook, your dog kind of, not to be mean, but it has blonde hair like you. And I'm like, what?
Pat has had something against my dog ever since I put out a video of my dog many moons ago, no, a couple months ago, and my dog, I'm pretty sure, got more views on the 30-second video than Pat's snow video. So
It didn't get any thumbs down. It probably didn't get any thumbs down either, did it?
nope.
Nope.
He's still mad about it. I think that's why he has something against it.
Pat can't let this go.
What's your dog's name, Jason?
This is Bentley.
Oh, so cute.
Bobo's around there somewhere.
Animals.
Come here, Bo.
Do you ever go to church sales, Kim?
I don't. I have, like I was just saying, the flea market is minutes away from here. There's my favorite thrift store, like 30 seconds. So
He doesn't want to sit on your lap. He wants to sit on the floor.
Sorry.
He's not a show dog. He's not Lassie.
I'm all wet now.
Oh, now he's Jason. I'm just kidding. Put the dog back. Don't cry. It's okay. Don't cry.
Sales are a really good place to source stuff, but I'm going to tell you, stay away from the Church of Satan because you find some really weird stuff at that sale.
I love church sales. I've made just tons of money off of church sales because, again, those people are donating. Most of that stuff they get donated, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to put good stuff out. I want the church to make good money on it. And
right. And the workers aren't married to it.
Yeah.
And the church is going to price it to move it.
Yeah. I bought a box of menus from a church sale that I paid $15 for, and I've probably made $1,200, $1,300 off of it. Wow.
I just got a bracelet today from the church store for $7 that they have it listed right now for $4.95.
Wait. Menus. How did you make $1,200 on menus?
Because they were all vintage 1940s through 1960s menus. I put them up. I was selling menus for $70, $80 a piece.
Oh boy.
Holy.
Wow.
I still have probably 15 menus up. So.
And they fit in a small portion of one of his filing cabinets.
Oh yeah. Actually, they're in a little flat. They're about this. I mean, the stack was like that big, and it's down to about like that now. But I sold a menu for almost $200. I mean, it was crazy.
How did you know what it was worth? Did you do auctions or did you just list them?
I threw crazy prices on them because again, you do a little research. You can't necessarily find the exact menu, but you can find an era of a menu, and then you throw it up, and it brings what it brings. Now the prices have come down. Obviously, the stuff I have left is not as good. I mean, it's been up for about a year, but it's just crazy. Old menus. People love old menus. I've got a menu right now. If I listed, I'd get $200 for, but I'm kind of hanging on to it because it's what I want to keep. It's for a local restaurant here that people just collect the stuff like crazy.
I've never even looked at menus. We should start looking at menus.
Vintage menus are fantastic. I mean, people.
I bought some.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the business, you find like an old Howard Johnson's menu, and it just because of the artwork and it's unique. I actually bought old menus, and when I would change my menu usually every year, every 18 months, I would incorporate some of that old designs into my menu, just to be fresh,
Yeah.
I actually have right now. I have listed a it's not a Titanic menu. It's a White Star Lines from the 1930s menu up. I sold that Titanic postcard for $130. I mean, there's good money in paper. There really is, and it doesn't take a lot of space, and it's easy to find, and it's not valued that much by people out there selling it. That's what's nice about it. Most people don't realize the value in that stuff. So,
all right, guys, I'm gonna lay down. I'll be in the chat though.
I
appreciate it.
Thanks, Craig, for stopping.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat though.
All right. Later, man.
Bye, Craig.
Hey, Anita, what is that around your neck? Is that like a cartouche?
This? Oh,
Yeah.
it's a scarab necklace.
Okay.
Oh, scarab. Okay, it looked Egyptian.
Yeah.
Is it old or is it something new?
No, it's pretty. It's not. It's considered vintage because it's over 20 years. It's by this company called Eisenberg.
Okay. I know nothing about jewelry.
Yeah. And it comes with the matching earrings, which is good.
I have lots of jewelry, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Well,
I can sell it for the set. I can sell it for about $100 for gold for the earrings and the necklace.
Nice.
I see a lot of you gals now doing like jars of jewelry and stuff. I wonder if Eric could do something like that.
I'll do that eventually. That's probably where most of my jewelry is going to end up, is in some jewelry jar I'm going to sell on a YouTube auction or something like that.
Yeah, it's a great way. People really like.
I don't buy garbage. I mean, I buy decent stuff. I can recognize there's quality there, but it's one of those things I pick up. I actually have 4 or 5 reference books on vintage jewelry and costume jewelry and stuff like that, and I pick it up, and my brain just checks out. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
when you do that, please send me the link.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I can put it in my jewelry.
I have 3 boxes full of jewelry right now. So yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's Meredethy. I can't pronounce the name. My husband works at testing space shuttle engines. I have photos. Those will be big money. People love space shuttle stuff. You're probably talking $30-$40 a photo. So good money there if you want to get rid of them. But yeah, the jewelry. I get it all the time, and I got sterling. I don't have much gold because gold I can scrap out. I get that, and I don't really get that much gold anyway. But lots of sterling jewelry and things like that. But a lot of good, 50s and 60s costume jewelry, stuff like that.
Someone was telling me today. I think it was today that the price of gold went up again.
Oh, it will. I mean, it just kind of goes crazy. Yeah, like I said, I'll do jewelry jars because. Like I said, you're going to get whatever I get because when I finally do them, I don't know what I'm putting in there. So I'm not. Can't accuse me of keeping it with anything because I don't even know what I'm doing with it.
Right.
So.
Well, that's how most of the jewelry jars are. Nobody knows what's in them.
Yeah, I literally.
Yeah, that's the mystery. That's the fun part.
And as long as I know. Right, I know a lot of people, when they see the jewelry jar, if they can spot at least one item, they can at least kind of make their money back, and they're for sure going to be all over it. There's a lot of people who love jewelry jars. So
yeah, I've got good stuff. It's just one of those things. I kept buying it because I had plans, and then my plans got changed, and so it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get out of that now, and so I haven't really bought any recently, but I see it all the time. I could buy it cheap. And buy it in bulk because especially when you do like online, not to say online auctions, but on-site estate auctions. That's the best place to pick up the costume jewelry and things like that.
Oh yeah,
it hasn't been sorted through. They sort through and take the gold out, but they don't really look for anything else. They don't look for.
Right, yeah, probably. I picked up a jewelry bag a little gallon bag of jewelry last summer for $5, and I probably made $1,000 off of that bag.
Right.
Like people, it was a lady who was like, I'm just tired of untangling it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh well, all right, $5. I mean, you can't really lose out on that. I saw a couple of items. I mean, there was diamond rings in it. There was Black Hills rose gold or something ring jewelry. Yeah,
Right.
I do well off of them, and it's always the ones that are really super tangled up that I can get for fairly.
A lot of people don't want to untangle them, so they just put them in there.
Oh, it's worth it when you got
It's
some
worth
good
it, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like anything else. So it's a hit or miss when you're buying kind of a lot of something and you can't really see everything.
I don't mind selling in lots. I mean, especially for something that I don't really. I've just kind of made that realization I'm never going to get to. I mean,
I would just put them by weight. Yeah, I would put them by weight because they tend to buy it more if it's 10 pounds and more. It'll go for higher prices.
Well, I'll do a YouTube auction on it one of these days, and I'll get one of these auction things or do my own or something, and then I'll sell it then. I mean, because I don't really care what I get out of it. It's literally not. It's just sitting in a box right now. I don't even remember what I paid for it. I've had it for
everything's sitting in a box right now over there.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Eric. Have you ever dealt with the printing blocks?
Yeah.
The first item today that went for auction I bought was printing blocks. I bought a whole box of them for $5.
I saw that. I saw the pictures on it. It depends on subject matter, what the printing block is, and then size. Subject matter is the key with that type of stuff. I've sold all different types because they're all basically advertising is what you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the subject matter is will dictate the price. If it's Coca-Cola, it goes up. If it's unique, it'll go up. I mean,
yeah, I've done lots of those.
Shout out to Harlan, by the way, who apparently hit 1,000 at some point today.
Wow!
Congratulations, Harlan. That's awesome.
Yeah. I just looked at that. I was trying to figure out what he was at because I know that earlier he was not at 1,000, so now he is.
Him and Scott are going to go to Texas together in a couple days for the meetup that they're doing out there.
That's awesome. I'm sure that will be.
Harlan's really a nice guy.
Yeah. I agree. Harlan, you're all right in my book.
When are you
California? Go ahead, Anita.
I was asking Kim when she's gonna be coming to California.
Well, I have to figure out kind of timing wise and kind of coordinating what I'm gonna do. But I want it to be my next trip that I make. I am going to Arizona for Christmas, but I want to hit California before that. So I miss my sister. I haven't seen my sister in a long time, and she lives in California. And so I figured I need to make a trip out there, and then I could see you, and hopefully Crystal Rose's Closet can come out, and then of course I'm hoping, and they've already said that they would. For the treasure hustlers and I to go do a little dumpster dive in because I know how to dumpster dive. I think it would be a hoot.
That would actually, yeah.
It would be fun.
In the dumpsters. Mm-hmm. If I dive in a dumpster, I'm not getting out of it. That's all I'm just saying.
I've done dumpster diving, but I'm telling you, I'm not climbing in. If I can read,
I will. It depends. It's got to be not a food dumpster, so it's more like a retail dumpster, or one that's a little cleaner than maybe one that could possibly have a bunch of food in it.
I didn't think you'd jump behind the Taco Bell.
Well, because a lot of your stores, the way they throw the garbage in there, stuff smells. But I like to go in sometimes the construction dumpsters. Because they roll open, and a lot of times they don't eat the scrap that you can get out of those. And I ask, so no, we don't care. We're just going to throw it away. So I've done that plenty of times. Sometimes, to be honest, it's not a weekly thing. It's just like, oh wow, you see an opportunity. If you pull out a couple things, a couple pieces of copper, and you drive a mile down the street and you're getting $30 or $40 for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done that before. Scrap metal. There's a recycling center here real close. I've done that. I do that usually, especially if I have appliances or certain things that break, then I'll just go and
I go knock on my neighbor's door and he scraps. I don't deal with it. I just give it to him.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I was going to take some. Jason was going to give me some scrap when I was down, but my car was so full, I just didn't have room for it. Do you know, Jason? I didn't empty that car out for 5 days.
Really?
But I mean, the garage is filled now. Today, what I did when I emptied after the auction, after I got up from the nap, since we had nice weather outside, on my son's tool chest that he got, then I filmed everything, because what I'm learning is you got to make sure. I mean, people, in a way, they almost say they don't believe you when you go to the auction. You bought stuff if you don't show a couple things. So that's why I always make sure I got to show something. Yeah. I got some neat things though. I got some Valentine. I'm looking. I got 2 boxes of belt buckles. I must have got around 25, 30 belt buckles for $20.
Yeah, so I was telling that's the stuff that.
Yep. You're getting Eric all upset. I'm supposed to buy some of that stuff for him.
Well,
it was on his list.
I could have maybe swung by and picked you up and said, Pat, if I nap in the car on the way to and back, is that okay?
That would have worked, yeah, but we're opposite directions, so.
Well, you never know. Next time. I mean, I'll be honest. I wouldn't have went there today unless you called me yesterday.
I sell belt buckles like crazy. I usually get minimum $10 to $15 depending on subject matter for a belt buckle. So you got those boxes were pretty full. There was probably 20, 25 belt buckles in those boxes.
Yeah, there was.
So you spent $20 and you got $400 worth of stuff. I mean, I got even for about $90, I got probably 3,000 postcards. I got paper dolls with some old cartoon books for $2.50. I bought an old GE General Electric clock. My total was this was my number today, 324. But my total was $179.50, and this was my little notes on the back, a little sloppy. And then I had to pay the 10% premium and the 6%. I spent $209, like 22 or something like that.
So Pat, what would have happened if you bought more stuff? There's only so much room on the back of that car.
Right, on that paper. Did you run out of space?
Yeah, well, I'd be honest. I took a budget with me, and I was sticking to it. So I was trying to be really selective. I bought my son a gift. I bought my son. It looked like a brand new tabletop grinder, $4. I couldn't believe it. And you remember that cleaver video that we saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a cast iron part with an axe and two tools in there. And my son's he's actually starting school now in 2 weeks. He's starting early. Instead of October, they're starting in July. And I told him, I said, why don't we, he wants to do YouTube and stuff. Why don't you help me? Let's refurb those. And then I could tie it into part of buying it at the auction and then turn it into another video where this is what we do and this is what we turn to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those are fun.
I bought some amazing things.
I told you that sounds like a cheap auction. I mean, I've been to auctions where I've seen postcard boxes go for a couple $100. I mean, it's just subject matter is key again, but you got quantity for not a lot of money. That's the stuff that's the best thing about it.
And I looked, when I do my video sometime this week, some of them were dated 1909, 1911. There were a lot of postcards even from the 40s that weren't used, no stamps. Like I said, and I mean, I don't need to sell many to just recoup my money, so it didn't seem like a big risk.
Nope. Yeah. Like I said, if you get $7 or $8 a piece for some of these postcards, I mean, you'll get your money back really quickly.
Eric, that's a question I have too. Where did the name? How do you say paper?
Ephemera.
Yeah, where did that word come from? I never heard that until you.
Never heard of ephemera? Yeah, ephemera has been around forever. So.
Never heard of it. I mean, I'd be honest. I would just say I'm buying a menu, or I'm buying a postcard, I'm buying a Christmas card.
Ephemera, it's just kind of that catch-all for paper. I mean, it's probably some fancy auctioneer says, I got to figure out a fancier way to sell this stuff than just I'm selling you a bunch of old paper.
I never heard until this year. The one, there's a young lady that lives in our area that's friends with Taco Stacks, Paper and Moose, and she does some amazing things where she buys things, and she buys dresses and she buys a lot of the old vintage paper stuff, and she actually does things with it. And she specializes in that, and I really enjoy watching. And I watch her. I watch Don, the auction professor, and meeting you, the things that the knowledge that just those pictures tonight alone. When people are watching the show, it's not just us talking about, hey, how's your day going? We're providing, educating people, even myself, to be on the lookout for these things because
they're out there. I mean, they're out there available.
Because there's money in them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's good money in it, and it's not very expensive, and that's what's nice. It's a nice entry into quantity without spending a lot of dollars, and you can really get a good return on it. I mean, you might find a postcard or something that will go for a couple $200-300. I've sold individual slides for almost $400. I mean, it's just, you just never know. I mean, that's why I try to teach people, don't pass up the things that are small and different and weird just because you don't know what it is. I mean, if the price is right, sometimes I'll buy stuff I don't even know what it is.
Right.
But I go to there's an estate sale company I go to. They're a little old school. They're a cash only type deal. They know me when I walk in there. They know I'm going right to the basement, and I'm going to come out of there. I'm going to come out with 3 or 4 totes full of paper, and I just drop it next to the desk. And he throws a price on it because he knows I'm going to clean up the stuff that he doesn't want, and nobody ever touches it. And I make really, really good money off of that stuff. Old manuals are great. Even old kitchen manuals and appliance manuals and tool manuals, that's all good money because there's always somebody out there looking to restore one or figure out how one works. And, a lot of stuff might be online, but people like to have the manual in their hands. I've got a Ford truck. I've got the manuals and they're on CD, but you know what? It drives me crazy because if I got to look something, I got to figure out where it's at on the CD. Where if I had the paper manuals, I'd be in so much better shape.
Right.
I saw a box today. I wanted to get it, but it was a separate auctioneer, and I was paying. I always loved as a kid because my grandmother used to give them to me. Remember the banks used to hand out where you would put coins in them?
Oh yeah.
Put dimes and quarters. And they had they had a whole box of those back from, 40, 50 years ago. But I missed it because, like I said, I was up front. And then when I was done with some of the stuff, I didn't even bid on none of the toys because they were going. I got there at like 8:15, 20 after 8, and the auction started right at 9. And I left probably around 12:30, and it was still going strong. They had a lot of, they had a lot of lead toys too with the molds.
Yeah, the molds are really good. Those lead toys are good if they're the Britons, I think is the name of the one that most people try to collect. But those were nice because you had the original molds, and the molds are actually worth probably more than the actual toys. There were some interesting ones there as well. There were some really good 10 toys there. There was good early Matchbox and early toy cars. I mean, it was a good auction.
Oh yeah, when you see my video, I took a lot of footage. I really scanned, and I actually introduced myself to Kimberly, the auctioneer, and gave her my business card and tell her what I do. And that's great. And nobody said a word. I mean, I didn't hold the camera right in people's face. I had it on this, but I did a lot of recording. And when I do the flea markets, I kind of hold it down. But I even got them doing a little bit of the auction, from a distance and this and that. And the building was neat. Jason, have you ever been to that flea market?
Yeah, remember I told you before they play band music sometimes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you just heard that and knew, but they have a building with up on the top 6 foot on a shelf stuff that they collect themselves, and it reminds you of American Pickers. They have a great, like a cooler, an old bike, and all the way going around. And the building is probably, be honest, about 6,000 square feet. Just that building right there.
Now, were you able to park near it? I noticed like it's on the other side.
You went in that way. That's where it was only one way, and I parked about probably 150 feet away. But then as we got closer to it being over, I was able to pull my car because I started walking things out, and you know, I needed to. I didn't want to miss anything.
Right.
Rusty Raccoon, you asking what state? Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's the negative about going to an auction with yourself. You got to figure out how you get your stuff out to your car without somebody pilfering the things out that you've already purchased, and that does happen.
There was a nice. I talked to some people. I actually got to talk to the family. I walked around and the guy was telling me that, yeah, I guess it was his uncle's stuff, and he told me they sold 50,000 postcards in a lot before they even did this. So they have a lot of stuff that they've been collecting and stuff.
There's all that stuff out there.
Something in the chat. I'm kind of trying to reload. My screen's acting up.
Restaurant asked you about what state you were in. You did that. Harley says, got with the banks, you got to be careful. There's a lot of repops. Most of those are in the mechanical banks for the repops. So I don't buy mechanical banks because of that issue. It's too hard to tell the originals from the repops. I mean, they're, somebody's got a really nice original. People usually think it's a reproduced one. So
right. I think somebody asked about gold or silver. Maybe Anita could answer that question.
Oh, how to tell about?
Yeah.
Let me to answer the question, Eric.
Yeah. About what?
I was just saying. I think it was Copper Mustache asked that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he did. And Melissa's giving me hell because all the guys are yapping. The guy. We have the girls, but we let them talk.
Okay. Well, the first thing you have to do is try it with test it with a magnet to see if it picks it up. If it picks it up, it's not gold or silver. And then what you can do is you can do the acid testing to be sure. That's the only 100% way you'll know if it's gold or silver.
You can get the acid test on Amazon for like $10.
Yeah. They're when I was getting them, they were $20, $25. Now the last one I got was about, I think, $7.99 at Amazon.
Yeah, Eric made me buy one a while back. I still haven't used it yet though. But it's here if I need it.
And Copper Mustache is asking, since I could see it, what do the ladies sell?
I sell my main item. The main things that I sell is jewelry, but I sell other items too. I sell vases, and I sell pretty much everything. Pretty much everything, but my main niche is when it comes to jewelry.
Kimberly,
I sell all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I sell anything I can make a profit off of.
I try to sell things that are small that I can fit into a flat rate.
It's not a bad way of thinking.
The biggest item I've ever sold was the bulldozer about 5 years ago.
Oh, that's a pretty big item.
That's a big item.
That is.
I sold it, actually. It wasn't mine. A guy had come into the restaurant, knew I had an eBay account, and he said, hey, could you list this for me and take calls? And it was great because, to be honest, I sold it within a week, and I charged $500 to do it. And, we had it delivered on a flatbed about an hour and a half away. I just actually sold an engine for this garage, but the guy hasn't paid yet, and he has zero feedback. But sometimes I've seen that before, because years ago I used to have an ice cream stand, and I sold an ice cream. And the people would come in, drive in from New York then and buy it. Sometimes they'll set up an account because they know they want to buy. So he still might follow through and buy the engine, but he's probably just thinking, should I have it shipped, or am I going to actually drive in and pick it up? What are you guys laughing at? What's going on?
I'm always laughing at the chat, usually. I sell laughing too much.
I sell bigger items too. Like I sell side tables and tall lamps and things that I can't ship, but I put those on OfferUp.
Oh, you laugh.
Facebook Marketplace more so than OfferUp, but yeah, I've done that.
I have them on. I have items on Bolt, but I've noticed that the OfferUp ones are the ones that I get more sales on. Maybe California, that's why. I don't know.
I don't think OfferUp's even. I don't think anybody uses OfferUp around here.
Yeah, they use it a lot here.
Yeah, I definitely want to start using that Facebook Marketplace or something. You know,
I like it because you could post into groups too. You can just make like one post and then post it out in a few places. And also, I like the fact that you can kind of see if people are at least sort of real, you know. And it that's the problem with Craigslist, and why I just stopped with Craigslist is because you just never know. Like I like to at least sort of try to figure out who I'm trying to meet, or if they are legit and they didn't just start their Facebook. And I sure Cliff in the chat, who literally just got Facebook like a week ago. He's the oddball out. It's pretty rare for somebody to be that way, but yeah. So I like listing through.
If they have a background, yeah.
That's my preference in local sale wise, and I do well. I sell bigger items local when the weather is nicer. I notice that people are more flaky when the weather is not so nice. And then a lot of things will be like scooters or razors or more outside items, fun things that the kids, bikes. I've sold quite a few bikes.
And where do you meet them when you sell these things? Like I know I don't have them come to the house.
It depends. So my dad is a boss in ADT, and he has my house covered very well for if people do come here. I'd rather do more of a mailbox style type of pickup. I do have like a camera pointing out that direction. And I'll drop it in the mailbox. But if I do go and meet somebody somewhere, it's in a very public place. Either the police station is one, or Walmart, like closer to the front, or somewhere that you can't get too quite lost in I guess, easily. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be like kidnapped or something. There's some crazies out there.
Right. Especially if it's a high price, priced item, I would definitely go to the police station and have the exchange done there.
Yeah.
But if it's low priced items, I'll have my dad go out. I'll say you can tell them to come on this street, but meet them all the way at the end. Tell them that's where you live, not here. So they don't know where you live. Yeah, but for higher priced items, at the police station.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best place.
Right, it's safe.
I don't know if you guys have that big of an issue of that fear, but I do. I mean, I'll pull out some ninja moves. I'll come at them like a spider monkey, but I'm not a very good person. I can only do so much here.
Yeah, well, I did sell one chair that was hand carved, and I did list that for $500. And of course, I wouldn't want him to come here, and we did meet him at the police station to do the exchange there. You don't know,
right?
It's better to be safe than sorry in this situation.
Amen to that. Better to be safe than sorry.
Right.
My biggest fear is when I'm lifting, because I buy a lot of machine equipment and stuff. When I'm lifting it out of basements, my biggest fear is like the stairs collapsing, because some of these houses are so old.
Yeah, I was in a barn, coming down a barn one time, and I went through one of the steps. That was carrying a tote of stuff. You go through one step, you're like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna die in some ratty old barn or something. So
I picture Eric like a cartoon with his like feet dangling.
Yeah, I had one foot dangling, that was certain. And I went down to the next level, and I got out of that thing. But because I was carrying a box of paper, and paper's heavy sometimes. So, but yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I hold auctions out of my garage. So I mean, I don't really worry about too many people coming over here. But then again, I don't sell a lot of high price stuff locally. So,
Eric, you're doing the auctions out of your garage.
I've been running an online auction. It's a local online, so it's Columbus only.
Oh, okay.
Get into it, and then they come and pick up from my garage, and then I have an auctioneer that I work with, and he's got his website and all that. So,
that's cool.
But I help him out, because if I don't help him out, then he's got to pay somebody that comes out of my end as well. So,
right.
But yeah, I don't really worry too much about stuff like that. But again, I also don't sell things that cause problems. I don't sell cell phones out of my house. I don't sell video game systems. Those are the things that typically you have issues with.
Right. Kim is saying people are nuts. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, in California, especially, we have to be safe here.
I think you got to be safe everywhere. I mean, it was
Everywhere, yeah, everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that. I mean, I don't usually worry about it though.
Yeah, if they tell you something like, "Oh, I don't want to meet there. Can you do the exchange something somewhere?" Don't agree to it. Say no.
right.
I still, my son sells stuff, and there are times he'll say, "Dad, can you meet me?" And like we'll say, "Okay, I'll meet up with you to Walmart." And I let them. I've already even my son Joshua just bought like some computer parts and stuff. I told the guy right out. I said I don't want him meeting you by yourself, and
Right.
And that's it. And I watch their body language and what they're doing, and because I'm glad I did, because this last guy, to be honest, he not to be mean, but he looked like a neighborhood thug that just went around and cleaned like an old lady needs some stuff done. Yeah, hey, can you take this junk out? And then he makes extra money. He was pretty rough looking.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of times, and I'll be honest, he looked like a character that just was trying to sell stuff for drugs.
Right.
And
there was this one. Actually, it was a woman that approached my dad at a yard sale, saying that she also has sterling silver jewelry, and if he's interested in buying it, that she would bring the whole box to where he can see them. And I thought that was kind of fishy when he said that, and because she left her number for me to call her, and I told her, okay, well, let me see pictures of the jewelry you have. You don't need to do them individually, just a few pictures so I can get an idea of what you have. She wouldn't send pictures. She said, me and your dad made a deal that we would meet somewhere and I would show him there. And I was like, that's not happening.
Right.
I'm
exactly.
sorry, no. And I reminded her that I have her phone number. And then I hung up.
I just had a guy.
Sound right? If it doesn't sound right, or your gut, you feel in your belly that something's not right, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
And I told her, don't approach my dad at any yard sales anymore. Remember, I have your number. And I hung up.
You tell him, Anita.
Yeah, because she was planning.
We're getting a little over 2 hours here, and
it's way past my bedtime, Patrick. Like,
I'll be honest.
10 o'clock there, right? Or 11 o'clock.
It's 11 here.
She got on my case last week because I asked her to hop in for a little bit, and I'm in my pajamas, and then later on she's in her pajamas on the side chat, but she I can't come on camera. That's different. No one's gonna care if you're in your pajamas even.
Well,
I mean, look how Jason's dressed tonight. You know what I mean?
People go to Target in their pajamas or Walmart.
My pajamas are more revealing, so it wouldn't have been appropriate.
All right.
Oh, so there's our appropriate.
We'll wait till we go offline.
That one's I've seen.
But I want to thank everyone for coming on and joining me tonight. I'll be honest. I think the show went pretty fast, and there was a lot of good information put out there. I just want to remind everybody on Monday, Kimberly's birthday is. Now, Kimberly, what time are you doing your birthday show?
It's at 11 is when I'm starting it.
Your time?
It's noon Central.
All right. So if anybody, I think she's going to have people stop in and say hello and things like that. And me, Kimberly, and Destiny do a show on Thursday. And I'll tell you this last week. I don't know if you saw the numbers. It's the most watched show out of the 13 shows done. We had Mike, the storage auction pirate, on, and I think one day it was over 413 views so far. Just
you watch all that way more than I do, which I'm glad.
I actually, this is how organized I am. I can tell you every show. Yeah. He's a numbers man.
That is such a numbers man.
Well, if we're going to do this, I don't want to waste my time doing it if only, some people say, I'll turn on the camera even if only 10 people are watching you. But, there has to be a measure amount of success.
Growing. You know,
Mhm.
yeah.
Scoring channel.
Going in a certain, somewhat of a direction.
Right.
But I'm with you. I don't mind that you are like that at all. I like that you tell me all those things, and I do pay attention to it. I just don't check it as often, but it's good to know because I want us to always, you know, get better and better.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
I agree. And we are. I think, to be honest, what we're doing is bringing a variety of guests, and we keep expanding and meeting new people. That is something that we haven't discussed, and we bring them onto the show. I mean, over the past 3 weeks, we've had a lot of views with the show that we've done. Now on Thursday, we're going to have John, who came in late tonight. We're going to talk to him about his experience with eBay, Amazon, and opening a retail location. And I'm really excited for that. I like John as a personal friend.
Me too. Me too.
Something, you know, I came across. I was actually a little. How do you say? A little scared of John because he started talking about God a couple months ago, and I didn't want to say something that kind of scared him off. And he talked about wanting to lose weight and stuff like that, and it kind of triggered something in my head. And I've been happy to know him. So he's going to be on Thursday. That's going to be at 9 o'clock. Again, we always
talk about 8 p.m. Central, folks.
Right. And as you know, we always do the Saturday show. Now, I just looked. We're about 11 away from 1072. Comment on that video in the description below that has about giving out the. You know, I picked up some Toy Story gift cards, and so we're gonna instead of giving one or two people thing, I'll give a lot of like little $5, $7 prizes out, and just to show the appreciation. You know, I try to support other people that can get super chats, and even I try to support my friends by buying stuff through their auctions and stuff. You know, it's not just about it's meeting a lot of these people and having. I'm so thankful to actually meet Eric and Jason because they've helped me a lot, and Jason's a very giving person, and so how could I even be mad at him today, even though he stood me up? Because to be honest, he's been great towards me, and I really appreciate it. But if you guys want to say,
he stands everybody up. Don't worry about that.
No,
you're not dependable anymore.
Yeah, I understand. If you guys want to say a final word before we go, and I appreciate everyone watching. We had a good turnout tonight, and I appreciate it.
I'm good. I talk too much as it is.
No, you did great. Anita, you
want
to say goodbye because the Melissa W rides my butt that I don't make the girls talk enough.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all, everyone that came in. Goodbye.
And Kimberly, thank you, honey.
Yeah, of course. I got your back, Pat, and I was glad that I got to hang out tonight.
And there's no more bidding on the duck. He's been replaced.
Well, that's fine. You don't deserve my duck anyways, Patrick. Okay.
That's right.
That duck is so cute, though.
It is. I like your duck. He's cute.
Thank you. And John, don't stand me up this Thursday, buddy.
I am not going to.
Yeah, John. You'll never hear the end of it.
No, please, John, don't get us. I will have to hear it.
Yeah, we'll hear it forever.
John, make sure you stand him up because it gets me off the hook.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you. It's about 20 after 1 here, and I'm going to head into bed because we are doing a family day tomorrow at Knoebels. I appreciate everybody gives up their time. It really means a lot to me, and thanks for supporting my channel, and have a great night. Bye-bye.
God bless you guys.